future so I can see. February can't chase the days away. Yeah, away. Why listen to what they say? Save yourself for another day. This one's coming, it's gone to the wind again. Yeah, again. Again. Just listen and make amends. You've been down for as long as you've ever been. This weighs up, but you're down again. It's just like you to pull off what you thought you couldn't think today. The lost stranger, the wonder familiar face. Broken hearts made of pieces that shake. I've had one too many of them. So now we greet. Just like snow can't oh, we drift to the edge. Just like snow can't oh, we drift to the edge. Just like snow can't oh, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castle, we drift to the
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right.
Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to what I think I will drown in pink. After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Let's go! Come on, baby! Nothing is what I think I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, ow, 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 ow. Yo, it's time for a 240. Oh, 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 oh. I did see the humanist report thing right before stream. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Yo! Whoa! Paint away day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Let's go. All right. Dude, we're kicking it off. Neighbors up. Dude, my neighbors, I know my neighbor who's outside this window. She's super cool. And her father used to live in that house, and he passed away a couple years ago. Now his daughter moved in, so it's like the same family. His daughter and her kid moved in. It's pretty cool. She's a sweetheart. We actually know all of our neighbors, like around us on all sides and across the street. They're like, we live in a neighborhoody sort of spot. So it is interesting though, because during the summer, I don't think you can hear me from the street because we are kind of close to a busy street. So I think the street noise, like the houses have not that much distance between them, but I think the street noise makes it so she could hear me from her side door or her driveway, but I don't think you can hear me from the street, right? Because of the street noise. But they definitely hear us. But yeah, no, it's cool. Like our neighborhood, really, there's not been a lot of turnover. I think in the immediate, like, we've lived here for 13 years. We bought this house 13 years ago. And we've only had one house next to us has changed occupants twice. Okay, there were the people that were there when we moved in, and then they sold it, and then they sold it again. So, but other than that, and other than that, our neighbor who passed away, but his daughter moved in, nobody else has moved in our neighborhood in the last 13 years. Like everybody has stayed the same. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? In like the two blocks, our block and the block across the street. That's kind of wild, right? I mean, you know, it's hard. I feel like you know, people, now's not really a good time to move. Two neighbors are Trump supporters. Oh shit, Gen W. Yeah, I honestly don't think any of our neighbors are Trump supporters. Now, there is a possibility there are like two neighbors that like, I don't know, maybe. I even don't think so though. Dude, Trump supporters next door overlook this and we are good friends. Good for you. Your neighbor under you is a Trump supporter. Oh shit. Dude, you live in an apartment, somebody below you is a Trump supporter. Dude, I don't think any Trump supporters would want to live near me. Are there any Trump supporters in Portland? There are. They're not really though. They're not really in the city. You know, I mean, they're scattered. I think, you know what I think Portland has? Portland has like liberals that I think some of them are Trump supporters because of the money, right? There are some wealthy people that are Trump supporters, right? There are. And if you go down to like Lake Oswego, where all the rich people are, I bet there's a bunch of Trump supporters down there. Even though they have socially liberal values, they're Trump supporters for that free tax money and you know, unlimited expansion like mentality of their businesses. You know, but yeah, dude, I don't like we live in a pretty urban area, and it's also, you know, got a wide range of demographics. There's a lot of LGBTQ people. We're in a not really a Trump supporting part of town. We are. They're in hiding where you're at. Yeah, if there are Trump supporters in Portland, let me just tell you, they keep it on the DL. Okay, they do. They do. Even the people from the you know, Gresham and Tualatin and Tigard and shit like that, they kind of keep it on the DL, guys. They honestly do. They keep it on the DL. All right, so, but speaking of Trump supporters, like, bro, what the fuck is going on with today? Like, can I just tell you? I mean, I called it last night that I said I thought I was pretty certain that the birthright citizenship thing was coming through. I think that's why Clarence Thomas was meeting with Trump leadership last night. I'm serious. I think yesterday Clarence Thomas met with Mike Johnson and leadership because they knew, dude, Elf, let's go, baby, Elf, let's go. Tiggle, baby. Tiggle bitties. Let's go. Dude, Elf said, damn, I inherited my parents' house. They bought it in 1986. Wouldn't even think of buying another home, even though my neighbors are primarily center left, but there's quite a few trumpets in my neighborhood. Oh, shit. I'm telling you guys, Clarence Thomas went to Mike Johnson's office yesterday to let them know that this was coming so they could get like an advanced run on it and try and coordinate their attacks. I know it, but guys, can I just tell you, like, I've seen some of the most disgusting behavior today. Just absolutely, like, gross. Just gross, man. The open racism, like, just disgusting. Let's look at some of this shit, okay? Let's look at it. It's pretty bad. Now, before we get into this, some people were talking about humanist report. We're going to do some light before we pile in, and we're going to go to the humanist report. There was a, right here, dude, on fucking Figueiredo's video, okay? You ready? This is pretty good.
What they said there, because it doesn't really
watch this.
I think
There was a little tweet from us.
We believe in security.
Because he was talking about the promise to America assholes, who everybody is like, screw these guys because they're dog shit. Right? Dude, I love Mike Figueredo. All right, here, watch this.
In safe communities. We want government that works to solve problems. We want a politics of persuasion. And most of all, we are proud of America. And people predictably responded by asking them again to explain what the fuck any of that even means. Quote, these are slogans. What are your policies? The promise to America brought to you by McKinsey & Company. You're literally not saying anything. Quote, we like good things and not bad things. You believe in a lot of shit you never ever deliver. What you do deliver is constant funded war in the Middle East and voting for Trump's additional ICE funding after they shoot Americans.
Fuck
LOL,
you, boss.
AOC says, what do you believe?
Let's
And the
go.
centrist pledges principles that apparently don't include one actual policy? Platitudes to America. And I don't think a single person responded positively to what they said there because it doesn't really mean anything. And I have to reiterate that this is why they're losing, because they...
Yes, exactly. Because they're saying shit like, oh, we want an economy that works for everyone. It's like, no shit. But unfortunately, we need some policies with that, right? He didn't do the fuck you, boss. Yeah, I mean, I think it was implied, okay? He didn't need to do the fuck you, boss. That's my job, right? Dude, let's go. Nobody can do the fuck you, boss, like I do the fuck you, boss. All right. So, dude, let's go. Beautiful. Dude, I love it. Fuck billionaires back there. Dude, let's go. Nah, it's in there. Loud and proud. I mean, dude, he swears, he swears. They're just, you don't need to swear, right? I do the same thing in my YouTube videos where I swear sometimes, but I cut most of them out because YouTube has this like algorithmic filter. If you have an 8-minute video and there's too many curse words in there, like shit gets like, YouTube is they're a little mousy about it. Yeah, Kermit's the best. But anyway, we're gonna get to the Kiros win. That's a big win. But guys, let's look at this shit, shall we? Let's look at the day. Because, dude, we're going to start with Sean Davis, okay? This was the craziest one, guys. Let's just get right in to disgusting people. Now, you know this guy. We've talked about this guy before, okay? This is the guy who started the Federalist, all right? Which is a bullshit right-wing mag. You remember him because he was like talking shit about Taylor Swift. Remember? And I'm like, dude, this guy is like one of the ugliest human beings. I mean, dude, I get it. You can't control like what we look like, but like, bro, this guy dishes so much negativity and judgment to everyone for no reason. And look at him though. One of the ugliest MFers I have ever seen. Okay. And of course, as you might imagine, this guy did the gnarliest tweet about this. When Pac-Man swears, I enjoy it because he's kind of fired up. Let's go, Elf. Yeah, dude, Pac-Man doesn't swear a lot. Dude, this guy is just, he's got a lot of problems. He's got the missing upper lip. He's got the horse teeth. He's got the non-choice hairline that we all have, but he doesn't even manage it well. Right? He's got the cone head. He chooses bad glasses. He's got the, keep him away from grade school eyes. I mean, every single thing about this dude. It's like, Jesus, bro. Can you put a filter on it? Please. Like, oh my God, I'll give anything. Like, if I had to work with this guy, if I had to sit across at a table from this guy, I would call Zuckerberg. Dude. Yo, Zuckerberg, what up, buddy? Yeah, no, I got a problem. I just got a job at the Federalist, and my boss is like the ugliest motherfucker on the planet. So here's what I need from you, Zuck. All right? I need a pair of those, the Meta glasses, but I don't want them to connect to the internet. I just want a permanent filter. I want a little remote control, And so when I have to look at this ugly motherfucker, I can just click a button and put like, I don't know, a dozen filters on his face. Yeah. All right, get on it. All right, fuck you, boss. Bye-bye. Let's go. That's what we need. All right, Zuck's on it. So, oh, Jesus. Dude, you know what happens? You know what I heard about this guy? This guy, no, seriously, true story, okay? This guy goes out in D.C., and for a while, when he first moved to D.C., he always thought he was being kidnapped. He did, because every time he would go in a restaurant, the host would like pull a bag over his head and be like, sir, you got to put that thing away. And he was like, oh no, I'm being kidnapped. But after it happened a handful of times, he realized it was just because people couldn't stand looking at him. Dude, I got you. Oh shit. Gotcha. Let's go. And that is not a true story, but you look at him and it's kind of believable. All right. Now, you might think, political punk, that was pretty mean. But here, you're about to see why I went so hard on this guy. Okay? Here's why I went so hard on this guy. Because this guy had the tweet of the day that is so gnarly. Okay? And he pinned it. Okay? He pinned it. Oh, I guess he removed the pin. He changed up his pin, but he had pinned this tweet. Let me show it to you, dude. So gnarly. Here it is. Okay. Did he delete it? I think he may. Did he delete it? Oh, he did, didn't he? No, he didn't. All right, so here's his tweet. Watch this shit, bro. This is crazy shit. Now, mind you, these guys are Christians. These guys are pro-life. These are the people that talk about, like, faith and family. Have kids. Have a family, right? Do it the right way. Here's what he said about Birthright. He said, several ways forward here, given the choice of Roberts Barrett to nullify the 14th Amendment and extra constitutionally replace it with their own language. 1, nullification. States issue birth certificates and they can just stop issuing them to non-citizens. Roberts Barrett can deal with the fallout and litigate each birth individually. Okay, so you ready for this, guys? He's basically saying he wants all the states to just completely disobey a Supreme Court ruling and then make every one of those end up like being litigated up to the Supreme Court. The law and order party, mind you. 2, pack the court. If Robert wants to be a politician who writes laws instead of a judge, then he can fight with 10 more unelected legislators in robes. 3, deny entry to all pregnant foreigners. So he's basically saying, oh, they're going to set up a thing so pregnant women can't come to the America anymore. 4, deny entry to all female foreigners. Prevent any foreign women that are not citizens from entering the United States. Dude, remember, guys, Jesus, what the fuck, dude? That's what you look like when you come up with shit. But look at number 5. This is insane. Require sterilization of all foreign visitors prior to entry. Wow. Dude, sterilize all foreign visitors. So if you come to America, you lose your ability to birth children. I mean, straight out of the Nazi playbook, guys. What in the actual fuck? Who would even type that shit, right? And then number 6, which I don't think number 6 is actually that bad. Okay, number 6 is dissolution of the Union. A nation which can't even restrict who gets to be a citizen isn't a nation. And I mean, dude, if these guys want to dissolve America and let the red states pay their own bills, I think a lot of people would consider that option. Number 7, amend the Constitution, which of course is the only thing they can do, but that would take 3/4 of the states. He says this is pointless because once a judge decides he can rewrite the Constitution at will, the actual text is meaningless, but this is what GOP politicians gravitate towards because they are useless. If you think all these options are not great, understand that that is what happens when unelected judges decide that they are in charge of the country and get to write its laws. But like, dude, here's the deal, man. First off, this is crazy. The pro-life party, the pro-family party, the party that claims they are Christians, one of their like bigwigs, one of the big voices in the political world for these guys said, yeah, let's sterilize everybody who comes to visit the country because they are so hell-bent on not having like brown people become citizens. Now, let's just look at the 14th Amendment, guys, because the 14th Amendment is pretty clear, okay? If we look at the text, look at what it says, guys. It says right here, okay, all persons born or naturalized, that means you've gone through and become a citizen in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. But here's the deal, guys. It says all persons born or naturalized are citizens, okay? And now you might ask, what is this part? Okay, this part here, and subject to the jurisdiction of, guys, this means that you're not like a foreign dignitary or an ambassador, right? If you're a foreign dignitary, right, if you're an ambassador from France and you're here, you're subject to the jurisdiction of France. So if you give birth here, your kid is not a U.S. citizen because you're subject to the jurisdiction of another country and you're having birth here. Okay? So that's what that part, I believe, has to do with, is you have to be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. Okay? Which means you're an immigrant, or, I mean, technically you could be a visitor, etc., right? Dude, why is France used? I mean, I'll tell you why I use France, because I love the language. I love France is the birthplace of modern art. And so for me, France is like a romantic, like, favorite of mine. That's why I use France. And because I think I'm thinking of guillotines like, 23/7 these days. But dude, isn't that wild, guys? That is what's crazy, is that it says real simple. It just says all persons born in the U.S. are citizens of the U.S. And that's it. I mean, what do they think they're going to do? And then it just says that no state can make or enforce any law that abridges those privileges. And, right? Boom. Boom, bap. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That is all. I mean, it's real fucking simple there, guys. I don't know why they thought they were going to get some loophole. It doesn't say all persons born to U.S. citizens are, right? And here's why, guys. They keep saying that, oh, this is about slavery and all that. And sure, some of it was about the enslaved people, the free blacks. But also, guys, at the time that this shit happened, like, let's look at what year the 14th Amendment was. 14th Amendment was 1868, okay? In 1868, people were still coming here from other countries, okay? And so if you came and immigrated to the U.S. in 1870 from England and your kids were born here, your kids were citizens. It was real simple, guys. We were still colonizing this place. I mean, I don't know why they think they're going to, I don't know why they thought Trump's executive order was going to override this shit. Dude, it benefited the Irish immigrants, the Italian immigrants. It benefited people from Poland. There was a huge Polish immigration that happened. I mean, dude, there was a huge Polish community in Wisconsin. The German immigrants, that's where my grandparents, I'm not sure if it was my grandparents, I think it was my great-grandparents that came from Germany on my mom's side, and my dad's mom and her family, Rindfleisch was their name, right? My grandma's parents immigrated from, came here from Germany. And this benefited all of them, okay? This is the reason my grandparents, right? My grandma Rindfleisch from Germany, she was an American citizen because of the 14th Amendment. So literally, so were the Trump fucking family, guys. Give me a fucking break. The Drumps, come on. This is just insane, boss. Dude. Dude, look at this. This is the shit he's fucking tweeting, dude. Mommy Milky. There's Sean Davis for you. What a loser. All right, thank you, Sean Davis. I was born in Scotland to a Scottish mother, American father, so maybe I should self-deport. No! No, Elf, don't do it. Dude, only MAGA have to self-deport. But can I tell you guys, to me, this wasn't even the worst tweet, okay? This wasn't even the worst tweet because this was like, whatever, ridiculous Nazi bullshit, but we know these guys are Nazis. You want to see what I thought the worst tweet was, guys? I thought the worst tweet was from this MAGA account that tweets a lot. It's this one. This one right here, dude. The bossy Leah. Look at this tweet. 20,000 likes, too. Look at this shit. She says, 18 years from now, my kids' votes will be canceled out by a third world cockroach whose cockroach mom arrived here 3 minutes ago. It fills me with a rage I cannot describe. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? I mean, calling people cockroaches that are coming to America that want to be Americans. I mean, they talk about like patriotism, but calling the people cockroaches. But think about this, okay? Think about the ramifications of a person who would say this. Like, she's so mad that, like, what? She's afraid that she's going to have kids and 18 years from now, the world's going to be bad because there's a couple, like, birthright citizen kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? Now, I replied to her saying, you don't even have to worry about this because I guarantee you 18 years from now, your kids are not going to fucking be speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? I can guarantee that your kids won't be talking to you. Right? They're going to grow up. Can you imagine being parented by somebody with this level of nastiness? Think about it. Think about the level of nastiness that exists to be like this. And this is not just a rage bait tweet like this person, as you'll see under here. They tweet a lot of this stuff. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like her, if you go to her account, it's pretty gnarly. Dude, she's so gross, dude. Dude, and like, look at that. What in the... Dude, I hope that's AI, right? I hope that's AI. Otherwise, dude, what in the brain damage are we talking about, right? But dude, she is just has the look at this shit. The correct response to today's birthright decision is to round everyone up, get them out by any means necessary. Don't allow any more in, right? You know what I'm saying? And then they're calling Somalis and Guatemalans shit and fucking, right? Oh, it's so dirty, dude. They're so dirty. Right? So dirty. Dude, look at this shit though. Like what the fuck, dude? They're so sick, dude. Now, here's something I want to say, okay? Because they seem obsessed. I think about this. These guys, these Christians, they're obsessed with like wanting to remove 20 million people. But let me just run this by you guys, okay? Because there are not 20 million Americans right now who need living space, okay? Now, think about if 20 million people in America got removed tomorrow, which meant like 20 million jobs are open, 20 million places to live or 10 million places to live are now empty. The people that are renting apartments now, a whole bunch of their properties or their houses or shit are empty. Okay? 20 million people that spent money every day in their local jurisdiction, that money is now gone. Okay? That money that they're spending, what they're contributing and generating in our economy is gone. I mean, think about this, dude. Think about how stupid they are. Like, first off, I don't think there's even close to 20 million undocumented immigrants. But if 20 million people just got plucked out of America right now, dude, we would be so fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, there would be areas, especially in Texas, in Florida, in California, that would, like, landlords would be losing all of their income, like, practically overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they even talking about? Dude, they're so stupid, bro. Dude, it would be terrible. I mean, Trump cut 100,000 people from the government, dude. Our economy still has not recovered. Dude, the job market is terrible right now. I was with 100,000 people losing government jobs. Dude, what the hell, bro? But I mean, it fills her with a rage she cannot describe. What a twisted person, dude. Isn't that crazy? Room poll on the split of renters from buyers for what? On undocumented people? I mean, obviously most of the undocumented people, I think, are like nearly all of them are renters. I don't think any undocumented people are buying houses. They're right. I would imagine they're all renters for the most part. You know, I mean, I don't see how an undocumented person would buy a house, you know, but let's look at some of the reaction, shall we? Dude, this one was big. Okay. This one was big, guys. Dude, 6-3 too. 6-3. That's a big decision, guys. Dude, all I can say, guys, you ready? You ready for this? I grew up in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is like 62% Hispanic, guys. There are more Hispanic people in LA than there are white people. And dude, there was like nobody had an issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what people's beef is about like living among Hispanic people. It is literally a non-issue, dude. You know what I mean? I grew up in LA. I lived in many different neighborhoods in LA, hugely Hispanic. I worked in restaurants with tons of Hispanic employees. They're all over the place. Hispanic culture, lowriders, and like you go out by Dodger Stadium, dude, there's great taquerias, right? You go down into like, you know, like south of LA, you can go into like Garden Grove and shit and La Mirada. And there's really amazing, like, dude, Hispanic Heritage Month is like nuts in fucking California. It is like Pride Month times 2. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different Hispanic cultures. And like nobody's ever had any issue. It's just so like all of America could be 70% Hispanic and we would be fine. You know what I mean? We would be fine. I don't understand what people are worried about. You know, I don't understand what people are worried about, dude. You've worked with Hispanics too, right? Plus you're Hispanic. So, dude, all right, Worthy, let's go. I mean, you know, there's good and bad people of every stripe, but I'm just saying I've lived in neighborhoods where I was not the majority person, where the neighborhood was not majority white, and like it, you know, it was not, I mean, I'll be honest, I hate to say this, I don't want to shit on white people, but I feel like when I lived in neighborhoods that weren't majority white, my neighbors were actually nicer. Like, I feel like I got to know my neighbors more when I lived in a not majority white neighborhood. And majority white neighborhoods were actually, if the neighborhoods where people talk to each other less, were usually a majority white neighborhood. Whereas like when I lived in, you know, neighborhood that had a lot of Mexican guys, they'd have barbecues and shit, and they'd like invite everybody over and you could just go hang out. It's like everything was about like the whole apartment building and shit, you know? And you get to know their kids and like, you know, like sometimes you help people out if they need a ride, you know, help fucking neighbors out and shit. And, you know, it's more like the white neighborhoods. Everyone's like, don't fucking step on my lawn, you know? And it's like, whoa, all right, chill out there, Gramps, you know? And so I don't know. I don't know why people are all fucking up in arms, dude. You know, I just don't get it, dude. I don't get it. But again, you know, I grew up in LA. And so it was just always like that. And so I guess maybe to these podunk towns that are all, you know, white fucking Catholic shitheads with beer bellies and shit, maybe they're worried that, oh, the town becomes half Mexican, like, oh, it's gonna, it's just not a realistic, it's not a realistic thing, dude. Dancer said I'll take an illegal over a MAGA as a neighbor any day of the week. Dude, I agree with that, dude. I'm serious. I would take an undocumented immigrant or any fucking nationality or religion on planet Earth before I would take a MAGA neighbor. 100%. Give me anything, dude. Seriously. Give me a fucking, there could be like 20 people living in one house and I'll take it over a MAGA neighbor any day of the week, dude. Dude, I grew up around that shit. I did. I grew up around that shit. I grew up in Magaville, guys. Dude, the towns I grew up in Wisconsin were Magaville, dude. Like, just seriously, you know what Magaville is? If you go into a MAGA rural town, there's 2 things, guys. Well, technically there's 3. Well, all right, no, there's 4 things, but 2 kinds of people. The first thing you notice in a MAGA rural town is there's like 20 churches. Even if the town only has 5,000 people, there's going to be like 20 fucking churches. That's number 1. Number 2, there will be a bar on almost every street corner. A tavern, literally. Every street corner will have a tavern, and every 5 blocks, there's a fucking church. Those are the 2 things you notice right away. And then you run into 2 kinds of people, right? One kind of people are they're alcoholics, right? half of the town is alcoholics and the other half of the town are child molesters. And that's it. That's the whole town. You have churches, you have taverns, you have alcoholics, and you have child SAers. That's the every mega small town. That's all there is, dude. I'm serious. You think I'm joking, but I'm not even joking. That's the entirety of the town right there. And then you have people that are just scrambling like a zombie movie to just get the fuck out of that town as soon as possible. Okay? Dude, let's go. A MAGA rural town is not the same as a blue rural town. It is not. Dude, Quarg, look at that. 14 churches, 3 bars, 1 grocery store. Dude, Kate, 20 churches, 30 bars, 15,000. Dude, Wisconsin, okay, when I lived in Watertown, Watertown had 11,000 people and 52 taverns, guys. 52 taverns for 11,000 people. This was like back in the 80s. Watertown had the highest per capita tavern ratio in Wisconsin in the 80s when we moved to California. Isn't that insane? Dude, nuts. It was so bad. It was so bad, dude. Dude, Eau Claire. Oh, shit. Dude, I had good shows in Eau Claire. All right, in Eau Claire, fucking House of Rock. I used to play House of Rock. Dude, Wisconsin is filled with child molesters, by the way. In fact, the little town of Elkhorn that I lived in, they have a hotel in Elkhorn now where the sex offenders that get out of prison, the launching pad for them, the hotel where sex offenders go, like the halfway house when they get out of prison, is in Elkhorn. This is a town of like 5,000 people. And all of the sex offenders who get out of prison in Wisconsin go to a hotel in Elkhorn. Dude, that was a town I got molested in, guys. Isn't that fucked up? They're like still doing it, dude. It is so crazy. Like, no way, bro. Jesus, dude, give me the 60% Hispanic fucking LA, dude. Please, take me. Dude, maybe they're just concerned that there won't be enough, child molesters left if too many immigrants move in, right? That could be the problem. They're worried about it. Bro, all right, I'm going to start the dance party goal, guys. You ready? Dude, we're going to cut a fucking rug tonight, boss. Dude, we are. We're going to cut a rug. Actually, you think we can do it in 15? All right. Dude, should we try it in 15? Let's try it in 15. Fuck it. You only live once, right? Dude, DeKalb, Illinois is primarily conservative township, but because NIU is based there, it's progressive because of all the students and professors. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of towns like that, Elf, right? Like that is the way, that's the way a lot of Idaho towns are too. And Utah it is like that as well, where the town itself has no people in it, but it becomes like super liberal because it's filled with like college kids, right? Was my brother essayed? So the two half brothers that essayed me, one of them was by his father. And in fact, my mom like caught him and like said, don't ever do it again. Right. That was before I was born. Right. But it's hard. Right. My mom was like, she didn't make good decisions. I mean, she had a whole bunch of kids and she didn't want to she didn't know how to get out of the relationship because he was also a violent man. So yes, one of them was essayed. And the other one, though, much love listening while working. So the other one was really interesting because I'm pretty sure he probably got essayed as well. But there was also another layer to the other half brother who did that to me because I'm pretty sure he's like gay or bisexual, but he was never able to express it. And in fact, my dad, this was before I was born, my dad caught that half brother like going into his sister's closet and trying on a dress. And so he made him wear a dress to school as like a fourth grader. My dad did. That's what my dad did to one of my mother's kids. He was so abusive. He caught him like trying on a dress, and he made him. And this, guys, is like, we're talking like 1963, okay? He made that kid go to school in grade school wearing a dress in 1963, guys. Isn't that crazy? That's fucked up, dude. People power Denver. Let's go. Bam, let's go. Dancing in 15. We're doing it, guys. Tired of going to bed, the dance party. Woohoo. Let's go. LFG. But those tired and I got that one. But it's like the way that shit works though it's like they're shame cycles. Okay? So people are sexually traumatized as kids, and then they develop some sort of like proclivity out of the deal. If they lean towards becoming an offender, they will develop some type of like, you know, sexual coping behavior, and then they will shame themselves for engaging in it, and then the cycle will lead to some type of acting out. But it's not always the same. Like some people will be SA'd and their coping behavior will be they'll grow up and they will repeat that and then go on to SA their own kids. Some people just become really promiscuous. Some people become drug addicted. Some people will develop there's any number of things can happen, like any trauma, right? But you know, it's pretty gnarly. You know, but it's so rampant, dude. Gen W, let's go. Here's the problem, guys, okay? Here's the problem. And this is what I've discovered from doing, I've worked with a lot of foundations that, you know, like those awards I got back there are from working with foundations that do a lot of work around child abuse, both CSA and physical spanking and shit. The problem is, guys, is we act like this is not common. People act like, whoa, it's not common, but literally like 30% of kids are engaging with this, maybe even more. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go into a grade school and there's 30 kids sitting in seats in that classroom, there's a real good chance that 10 of them either are or have been SA'd by somebody. It's fucking rampant, but we don't talk about it. We act like it's not going on. And then, you know, a preacher gets busted or a teacher gets busted or a president gets discovered to be, you know, friends with Jeffrey Epstein. But it is like so rampant that it is literally that, and hitting kids are like one of the number one reasons why Americans are so violent and so like fucked up. Like why our culture is so violence and addiction heavy is because of that behavior. You know, I'm definitely not playing for the same team, but I definitely tried on women's clothing, experimented during college. Let's go. Dude, I love wearing women's clothing. I used to wear dresses all the time on stage and shit, right? But you know, I was definitely, you know, like I didn't want to be a woman. I wore them as a man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, it is like, it is pretty bad. Like, let me just tell you this, guys. In the small town in my family, like growing up, it seemed like almost every family I knew the entire time I grew up in Watertown and in Elkhorn, every family I knew was like struggling with that to some degree. You know, like every single family. Right? You know, it's pretty crazy. You love to wear men's clothes. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a big deal with the clothing thing. It's like a curiosity, right? I personally wish men's clothing was as interesting as women's clothing. But all right, we're going to bring it back around to the fucking actual conversation. Shit. All right. So look at this though. Dude, look at this. Dude, Riley, today's the day. SCOTUS will rule on 2 landmark cases, all pertaining to the protection of women's sports. Dude, look at her, dude. She's so gross. You wear your kilt when you play Celtic music concert? Let's go. Dude, look at this shit. Look at what Matt Walsh said. He said, now that SCOTUS has opened up the floodgates for foreign invaders flock across our borders and spawn, the only choice is to triple down on immigration enforcement, militarize the border, mass deportations, round every illegal up. Don't pull back when the lesbian activists start screeching about it. Use whatever force necessary. Dude, how fucking terrible are these people, right? That they just want to militarize the border and shoot people because they don't want brown-skinned people to be born here. It's so crazy. Like, how demented do you have to be? But all right, you ready? Let's get some SCOTUS reaction here. Some SCROTUS. All right, let's check in, guys. 6 minutes, baby. Dude, you ready? Dude, Jen W, big thank you, boss. It's an extra one for you. So, dude, we actually have 8. So we need 22, guys. Let's go. 22. Let's run it up. Then we're going to go look at some of these videos. We're going to look at the MAGA people fucking flipping out, guys. The MAGA people flipping out. Dude, let's go, baby. Let's go. Do we have somebody to boot? Think the MAGAs are modern KKK? Let's go! Is the counter still working? It is. It is. Dude, Amy, you might be right. All right, so now, but the counter missed the first 2. So we're actually 20 away, guys. Right? The counter's 2 behind. But that's all right. 20 away, dude. 5 minutes. This is it. 5 minutes. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, well, the shit about the transgender bans is it's so dumb because there's literally like 20 fucking trans athletes in the whole country that were involved in school sports. And like they're passing laws about like 20 people's existence. Like they're so fucking, these people are so mental. Dude, let's go 4 minutes. Let's get it. Dude, first off, here's the deal, fucknuts. Before I make you go away, which you're about to go away because you're a waste of space. Let's find you again. Let's find where's that fucking person. Dude, let's go. Because just so you know, you ready? Illegal immigration is not illegal. All right? You're an idiot. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're in here running your yapper, okay? It is not illegal to be undocumented in America. There is no legal penalty for it. It is a civil infraction, okay? It is the only thing that is illegal is crossing the border illegally, okay? If you cross the border illegally, that is a crime, and the punishment is deportation, right? So if they catch you walking across the border, you are breaking the law. If you get across that border and they don't see you and you become undocumented in El Paso, you're no longer breaking the law. You are then not illegal, okay? That is a civil situation at that point. All right? There is no crime for that. Dude, maggots discuss you openly worshiping 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗍𝗍. Let's go. And on top of that, the whole government needs an intervention. It does indeed. So that's number one. You think 15 minutes was a bit apprehensive? That's all right, dude. We're fucking going for it, boss. So we're 17 away, guys. We'll see what we get, and then we'll fucking reset it. We're setting high goals. So again, that's for starters. Now, here's the crazy thing is, most of the undocumented people in America came here legally. Okay, so they came here legally. They did the asylum. They came in with TPS. They came in on a work visa or a student visa or what have you. And then they simply, like, it's so hard to become a citizen that then they hit a scuffle where they just couldn't fucking become part of the group that were continuing the citizenship thing. So they came here legally, and then we don't have a good system of allowing the legal ones to become legal. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, dude. All right, dude, 1:30. Here we go. Last little bit. But again, shouldn't be that huge deal, right? Right? I mean, dude, we should just create a path to citizenship. It shouldn't be that hard, you know? It should not be, you know, it shouldn't take 10 years and $30,000, you know? You know what I'm saying? Dude, Elon Musk was here on an illegal visa. You know what I'm saying? He started his first company, right? The fucking Zip2 or whatever it was. Dude, he started that company. He came here on a student visa. Then he quit school. Okay? Right? Then he quit school. And then what he did was he quit school and he stayed on a school visa and he started a company while on a school visa working here illegally. And now he's a fucking trillionaire trying to get rid of all like immigrants. See, guys, I don't really care about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, it's like this idea of legal or illegal or what have you. I mean, you know, you want people to come and apply for asylum and get TPS and shit like that, right? You want them to come by legal channels. But, I mean, if they're here, like, undocumented, it's not really that much skin off anyone's back. You know, you were so young, you remember when you got your social security number and paperwork? Let's go. All right, so we're going to reset. We almost got it, right? Dude, let's go. Dude, you, like, I didn't know you came from another country, Alf. You came from another country? I saw you said Scotland. Dude, sinful, let's go. Imagine you were so fucking lazy being scared. I just don't get why people are so jacked up about this. Right? You know what I mean? Like the thing is like when you think about it, right? Even think about it like this. Think about as an organism. Like it's possible that the first couple thousands of years of society that whiteness dominated, and it's possible that we're going to worldwide, we're going to go over a hump, and then for the back half of like society, you know, like white people won't be dominant. And so what? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if the worldwide white population went down to like 30% of the world and 70% of the world was brown, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Who fucking cares? None of that matters. Like, oh, okay. So like, you know, I mean, dude, it's just so dumb. It's so dumb, and nobody's even gonna live to fucking see that anyway. It's gonna be so far down the line. I just think that people freaking out about that shit seems really stupid. You know? Right? I mean, we all did start out not white, guys. You know what I mean? I mean, think about this. When we were like native populations, nobody became white until they were starting to build buildings and shit. Okay? Let's be real about that. That in the primitive native days, all of the people in civilization were, you know, battling with the sun, and we were all browner for sure. You know? There's no doubt about that. All right, let me reset. We're like 15 away. All right, there we go. There we go. We did good. We got like half of them that round. Let's go. 15 and 15. Dance party's coming, baby. All right. Run it up. Run it up. All right. Let's look at these reactions. Dude. Fucking crazy. They're so bent about this shit. Right? They're so bent about this. I'm astonished at how fucking people were. You were born in Edinburgh and lived there got you. So you, okay. Moved to Chicago suburbs, then New York City, then Baltimore, then back to DeKalb. Dude, that's crazy. Let's go, Elf. Let's go, baby. All right, 14. Run it up. I don't know why the first one never fucking registers. Look at this shit, though. Dude, look at Nancy Mace. She said, impeach rogue activist judges. We're looking at you, Amy Coney Barrett. Dude, they're calling their own Supreme Court justices rogue activist justices, right? Isn't that crazy that they're calling their fucking, right? Isn't that crazy that they're calling their own fucking people, their own judges? Amy Coney Barrett is taking a beating from these guys. Yeah, for following the Constitution. I mean, this is a slam dunk one. But see, this is what happens though, guys. This is what happens when these idiots, I'm telling you right now, you know what it is, guys? It is the fault of their right-wing media regime. Because think about what's going on always. They have all of these right-wing influencers that for like a year will say that, oh, this EO, they're going to turn this over, they're going to turn that over, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. Then all of the MAGA turds think that woke is over, like Christianity won everything, everything's just going to be hunky-dory, and it's all going to be a big Christian hand jive. And then reality hits them, and they're like, oh, then they're all like sad and resentful because they spent the whole time when, like, who the fuck thought an executive order trying to like overrule a constitutional amendment that is so clear? It doesn't matter what the framers intended. They said if you're born here, you are here, period. If you're born here, you're a citizen. It's so fucking right. Yeah, no, it doesn't guarantee their parents' citizenship. It doesn't guarantee anything for their parents. But it's like, bro, what are they fucking doing? They spend all their time like believing shit That's never going to happen. Okay? Dude, look at that. No more women on SCOTUS. Dude, they're mad at women. The dude, cat turds like the women did this. All the Christians are like, oh, they want to get rid of all the women because the women did it. Oh, Bill Mitchell says, oh, remember how SCOTUS overturning Roe fired up the Dems? This is going to fire up the Republicans. Look at that. He's saying all the white guys, look at that. Dude, they're all white dudes. All the white dudes are going to get real fired up, guys. They're all going to get real fired up because birthright citizenship didn't come through. So get ready. Get ready, guys. Boy, all those white dudes are going to come a-running. They're going to win the election now because birthright. Dude, none of those white idiots, think about this, okay? That picture, that Bill, none of these fucking guys even know what birthright citizenship is. Look at these idiots. If you went to 100 dudes and said, what is birthright citizenship and which amendment guarantees it? And I'm telling you, 99 of them would fail that fucking question. Dude, right? Dude, if you asked them, like, you know, who 𝗙cie𝗶𝗍𝗀 is, they'd know the answer to that. If you said, you know, what does Asmongold's left testicle look like, they could probably draw a picture of Asmongold's nuts. But they have no fucking clue what birthright citizenship is. Oh, fucking dumbasses. Oh, here he is. Oh, look at him, dude. Look at Stephen Miller. The scrote is among us.
So, Stephen, how'd you feel when you saw the decision come down?
Well, I had two feelings. First, the fact that it was 5-4, so agonizingly close, just underscored that the legal community on the right and left has been so wrong for so many years, saying this was going to be a 9-0 ruling.
Well, I thought it was 6-3. Dude, everyone's saying, like, so they ended it in a 6-3 decision. Okay, so again, dude, he's lying about the fucking decision, too. Like, look at that. It was 6-3. But, dude, he's lying. They're even lying about the decision. Again, dude, you'll notice, though, guys, you notice how he's not as mad today? But remember how mad he was yesterday? Right? Remember how mad he was yesterday? They knew yesterday. I know that they knew yesterday. Clarence Thomas told them. They knew. But he's lying about the decision.
First, the fact that it was 5-4,
6-3,
so agonizingly close, just underscored that the legal community on the right and left has been so wrong for so many years, saying this was going to be a 9-0 ruling against President Trump. The heartbreaking part of this is thinking about what it means for America over the long term. Well, the short term and the long term. Look, President Trump won some massive, unprecedented victories with the Supreme Court.
Dude, it doesn't mean anything. It's like we've always had this. This has literally always been here. It's never even been an issue.
The Haitian TPS ruling, the asylum ruling, the slaughter ruling, giving him unfettered authority to terminate federal bureaucrats. But this is absolutely a deep knife wound in the heart of the American Republic. Look, Jesse, I can step tomorrow onto the deck of a 747. It does not mean that I am the pilot of that plane and I'm qualified to fly it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the court, I think it had to be 5-4. Let's see who voted what on birthright citizenship. Let's see what we got here. So it was, according to this, it was a 6-3. Okay, the only three that voted to overturn were Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch. So according to this, Kavanaugh voted to defend it. Yeah, it was a 6-3 vote. And this is from the SCOTUS blog. But here's one that says a 5-4 vote. Dude, they were doing this yesterday too. I don't know. I'm going to ask the AI. Let's see what the AI says. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So here, no, you know what it was? It's the same thing that happened yesterday where Justice Kavanaugh voted against Trump's order, but not because of the birthright citizenship. He voted against it because of the legality of it. So it was 5-4, like Kavanaugh did not agree, like Kavanaugh was against the birthright citizenship, but said that Trump's order nonetheless was still illegal. Okay? So I see what's going on there. Right? And I mean, it was going to lose anyway, though, because 5-4 is still a loss. So it looks like fucking Kavanaugh, right? Kavanaugh argued, right? He didn't join the constitutional majority part. So he said Congress could pass a law to alter birthright citizenship. Dude, this counter is broken, is it? Let's see. Dude, let me see. I think. Let me see. We got. There should be 2, and there's 1. All right, you're right. The counter is broken, but that's 2. All right, so we're 13 away, baby. 4 minutes. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get the fucking 13, guys. Let's secure this shit. It's dance party time. So what are the pro-justices doing? I mean, they're the pro-justices. I mean, obviously a couple things are going on because some of them are probably in the pocket of the Heritage Foundation, but some of them are trying to contextualize what the founders meant. Okay, there are some people that are like, they call themselves originalists. Okay, so what they do is they look at the Supreme Court. Dude, let's go, Kelly. They look at the Supreme Court and they try to say, well, what were the people who wrote these? Or they look at the Constitution and say, what did the framers intend? So I think the ones that are saying no are basing the idea that the people in 1868 wrote this amendment to protect the enslaved who were now free, and then they didn't want to extend it to all immigrants. Now, of course, they have no way of fucking knowing that, but these guys, several of these guys are purchased, okay? I mean, think about this, dude. Alito was hanging a fucking flag upside down. His wife is like one of the insurrectionists. So it's Clarence Thomas's wife too, right? I mean, we're talking that several of the Supreme Court justices are like people who hang the flag upside down and want to fucking take over the country like they did with the fucking, you know what I mean? And on J6. All right, guys, we're 11 away, baby. Let's go. We need 11 and 2. Let's get it. Come on. Whoa. It's now or never. Let's get it. So yeah, the Supreme Court is actually filled with some deviant people that, don't have America's best interests in mind at all, that they would love to just take over the country, right? It's freakish. freakish. And a couple of them are rapists, right? 2 of them are grapists, guys, right? Clarence Thomas and Brett Kavanaugh are grapists. And they're grapist president buddy. And Alito is like, he's like an insurrectionist. Dude, let's go. 11, baby. 11, we got 1 minute. If we're dancing, let's get her done. Dude. Dude, I think it's the same guy. Not sure, but I want to dance with Tommy. Let's go. Dude, 10 away, guys. Dude, yeah, Warner, did he get the boot? I mean, I was going to fucking send him out. Gone. Dude, you were wondering? Dude, I sent him packing. I think it's like the same person, dude. I think, you know, we get a repeat. We get repeat business sometimes from these clowns. Same Preto Church. 10 seconds. All right, we're going to reset it. We're 10 away, baby. Chipping away, guys. Chipping away. He did get deported from the live chat. I mean, we do mass deportations from the live chat. It is true, guys. All right, we're going to reset this. Let's go. Try uno más. And then there were 10, baby. We're going 15 minutes. Dance. Lady B did construction in the city. Missed that view. Let's go, dude. We love the city. All right. Dude. So that's what it is. There was a split like that yesterday. But I do notice that Stephen Miller is like less angry, guys. Okay, Stephen Miller, they definitely knew.
Physically being on U.S. soil does not make you a citizen or qualify the American Republic. Look, Jesse, I can step tomorrow onto the deck of a 747. It does not mean that I am the pilot of that plane and I'm qualified to fly it. Just physically being on U.S. soil does not make you a citizen or...
Dude, they use the worst fucking examples, okay? Oh, I can be on the deck of a 747. That doesn't make me the pilot or qualified to fly it. What does that have to do with being citizenship when you're born inside the territory of the United States? I saw somebody else tweeted, if you have a baby in Taylor Swift's house, you don't get to move into Taylor Swift's house and she pays for all your shit. But like, dude, who's going to have a baby in Taylor Swift's house? You go to a fucking hospital, okay? If you have a baby in the hospital, you don't have to live in the hospital for the rest of your life, do you? Like, they have the worst examples. Dude, Paula wants Buck deported. Let's go. Dude, there we go. The counter's working. 9 away, baby. I know it's stupidest example.
Qualified to carry on or capable of executing the inheritance of this country. We have people from all over the world.
What did he say?
Onto the deck of a 747.
Listen to this shit. Hold on.
Deep knife wound in the heart of the American Republic. Look, Jesse,
Dude, this guy is such an asshole.
The Haitian TPS ruling, the asylum ruling, the slaughter ruling, giving him unfettered authority to terminate federal bureaucrats. But this is absolutely a deep knife wound in the heart of the American Republic. Look, Jesse, I can step tomorrow onto the deck of a 747. It does not mean that I am the pilot of that plane and I'm qualified to fly it. Just physically being on U.S. soil does not make you a citizen or qualified to carry on or capable of executing the inheritance of this country.
Dude, what does that mean? Being born on the U.S. soil doesn't make you qualified or capable to carry on the inheritance of this country? Like, dude, you're a baby. Okay? If you get squeezed out of your mom, I don't care if your parents live here or your parents are from Mars. Who the fuck is qualified to carry on the inheritance of the country, whatever the fuck that means when you're like a screaming baby. Like, what an idiot. Dude, this guy, you know what he does? He like goes to his girlfriend, right? She, like, Katie wants to have sex, and he's like, you know, these sheets are not qualified to support the sexual behavior of White House assistants. So therefore, no, I cannot have sex with you right now because this 200 thread count sheet cannot sustain the dickheadedness within me. Dude, what a fucking idiot, bro. What a fucking tool, boss. Jesus criminy, dude. Oh my God. Dude.
We have people from all over the world, from third world nations, nations that on their own would have never invented the wheel, let alone modern technology, let alone medicine, let alone air travel.
Dude, you know what's so funny though? Is like, dude, so much of shit was not invented here. He thinks everything. He thinks America invented the wheel, dude. Like, what an idiot, bro.
And they can just come into the country, have a baby at a hospital, paid for by you and me, and then that baby's automatically a citizen. That baby can sit on a jury when he turns 18 and sit in judgment of you and sit in judgment of me and sit in judgment of our loved ones, can decide who our mayors are.
Yeah, dude, you're definitely, I do see, you know, Stephen Miller, I'm not a seer or anything, but Stephen Miller, I do see a jury in your future, buddy. I definitely see an impaneled jury in your future, in the Trump family's future, and probably Kristi Noem's future. There's definitely going to be some juries there, buddy.
Our governors are, our presidents are. Citizenship means nothing if it is open to everyone. The idea that you can have a cruise ship filled with foreigners and they just dock at a port for an hour and someone has a baby, Jesse, the baby's an American citizen. They can vote in every election for the rest of their lives. They can be living in a foreign country and cashing welfare checks from American citizens.
Dude, what?
Look, I know that some of the justices who worked on this, they think that they're so intelligent. There is no possible reading of the 14th Amendment that applies to foreigners with foreign loyalties, foreign citizenship, foreign obligations, foreign everything. And here's another point. Here's a pretty good clue your constitutional interpretation is wrong. If your ruling requires you to suicide your civilization, your reading of the Constitution is wrong. President Grant and the congressman in the—
Dude, look at him. He can't even keep a straight face when he says this shit. Look at him, dude. He's like laughing, right? He's laughing because it's so stupid, dude. He's like, oh. You get those Fox viewers like jacked up, dude. What a fucking dumbass, bro. Dude, I want to check this motherfucker's hard drive. Because first off, we know that all of his kids are like Elon's, and he got them at the cuck store, right? His kids. Dude, Sunola, let's go! Clarence Thomas is an embarrassment and a disgrace. I agree. All right, guys, we're 12 away. Dude, Elf said, Miller is possibly the worst person that I know in my lifetime in America. Dude, he's up there. All right? Let's go, guys. 7 away, guys. We got this. All right, 7 away. 7-7, baby. No more fucking around. We're getting this goddamn dance party. Dude, what? He can't even keep a straight face.
The 19th century did not want to create an automatic third world citizenship requirement for America.
Dude, shut up, boss. We're done listening to you. Dude, Amy Coney Barrett, thank you, Amy. Okay? Yo, Amy! Amy Coney Barrett, how's my favorite fucking cultish bunker babe doing? You doing good? You feeling good after this? All right, so here's the deal, Amy. I know I know everyone calls you 𝗍𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗀𝗏. I know. I mean, you know, they have a point, so shut the fuck up. All right, but anyway, to get back to the judgment today, I did want to say thank you. All right, I find you pretty despicable, mostly because you are still a zealoted weirdo and you've been taking away women's rights and shit. But I am going to say thank you for at least not being a complete fucking degenerate. And I guess maybe having 2 immigrant kids, you have like the tiniest shred of like humanity in you, right? You know what I'm saying? And so I'll thank you for that. But you're not getting off, okay? Because we still don't like you. But, you know, you were kind of looking pretty good though the other day. Dude, what are you doing later? Oh, shit. Oh, I gotta go. All right, fuck you. Bye-bye. Kidding. Dude, let's go. Oh, shit. No, you got to ask yourself, would you go on a date with 𝗍𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏? I would probably say no, right? As long as I'm not drinking. If I had been a drinker, I probably would have gone on the date. But yeah, dude, she is like, you know, dude, look at Riley Gaines. Oh, my God. Dude, what in the Little House on the Prairie is this? Missed one earlier from you. Let him know, Kermit. Let's go. Sinful, I'm sorry I missed one from you, boss. Let me see. Let me go back. Deport Trumpy to a pine box. Let's go. All right. Dude, I did miss that one. Deport Trumpy to a pine box. I'm going to go get it, dude. I know I've lived for stupid stuff, but the way MAGA people lie makes me feel sick. Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy. They lie. These 2 cucks make me sick. 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, let's go. Dude, we're doing this 4-way, guys. I'm going to go back and find Sinfuls, see if it's in here. Where is it? There it is. Deport Trumpy to a pine box. Let's go, dude. Dude, no dono shall be left unturned, guys. All right? No dono will be left unturned. But look at her, dude. She's all like excited about the trans ruling. But what in the fucking, what is up with the weird Little House on the Prairie shtick, dude? Right? Right? Oh, look at that. Dude, look at Andy Ogles. Jesus. What a freak. Look at what he's done. He filed legislation to ban certain pregnant foreigners from entering America after the Supreme Court being upheld. Guys, we are living in 2026 where a major Republican party, one of our major political parties, is talking about banning certain pregnant foreigners from entering America. Now, this would require 60 votes in the Senate, so this shit is never going to pass. There's no hope. Dude, Andy Ogles can take this bill and shove it right up his tight Jeffrey Epstein asshole. This shit can't fucking, is never going to pass. But look at this weirdo, dude.
Ogles here. Breaking news. I don't know if you're paying attention, but the Supreme Court just had a horrible decision as it pertains to birthright citizenship. And I would even say really betrayed America when it comes to birthright citizenship. So I have a bill that's going to address it from the legislative perspective. Look, we are co-equal branches of government. Our founding fathers warned us against an all too powerful judiciary, and you see that playing out right now. So I have a bill. It'll be called Anchors Away, which, look, if you're not a U.S. citizen, if you're not a green card holder, and you
Dude, Trump's an anchor, baby.
have a child on U.S. soil, today that child would be a U.S. citizen. Under my bill, under my legislation, we fix that and go back to what our founders intended. So in short, what
Which is what? Slavery?
this bill does is if you are a pregnant woman, you can't come into this country. You've got to be a citizen, be here. You have to have a green card holder. So if you're pregnant and you don't have one of those statuses, no admittance allowed.
Dude, isn't that crazy? They're actually going to pass a law. Dude, let's go. Steph sells the wheel. I can't get over it. Dude, they're actually thinking about passing a law to ban pregnant women. Okay? And dude, we did. May Money, we read the 14th. It's in there. We read it. I mean, it's real simple. It says anybody born in the U.S. is a citizen. If you're born here, you're naturalized. It is like there was no, it's simple as all. But yeah, dude, this thing's never going to pass, right? It's never going to pass. It would need 60 votes. Bro, banning pregnant women from coming to America. Dude, come on. Like, really? We are really talking about not letting pregnant women come to America. Dude, they're really just going off the deep end. Dude, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, how will they know? I guess you're going to get a pregnancy test. Every woman that enters America is going to get a pregnancy test, right? You're going to get, there's going to have, I can see it now, guys. Literally, I can see it. Okay, you show up in America, you go into customs, and there's a bunch of tables with stirrups. And every woman's got to get up there and get a genital check, right? You'll have Andy Ogles here and Donald Trump walking around with the fucking flashlights on their head, looking between women's legs and shit, taking a blood test, right? I mean, I can see it, right? You'll have fucking Don Jr. and Eric will be like prodding around. Dude, what are we doing, bro? These people are foaming at the mouth. They are weird. They are so weird, May Money. Dude, I know. These, like, idiots, bro. Jesus. Dude, here's Harmeet Dillon. Oh, God.
Today was a great day for girls who want to play sports without boys taking their trophies. The United States Supreme Court...
Oh, I'm not going to listen to your fucking anti-trans shit. All right. Oh. You saw Clarence? Dude, these guys. Idiots, bro. Idiots, dude. Dude, he wrote, look at him. He wrote 91 pages, guys. Isn't that crazy? Clarence Thomas wrote a 91-page dissent. Can you imagine writing 91 pages about, like, not wanting people born in America to be American citizens? Dude, what in the hell, dude? What in the rapist is that shit? Oh, here we go, dude. Oh, no, we watched that yesterday. All right. Dude, I'm over these idiots. I'm not going to spend any more time listening to these guys. Oh, this is a good one, dude. Oh, dude, look at that. Matt Walsh. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing, dude. They did the meme with Matt Walsh. That is so good. Dude, let's get her done. Let's go, dude. The goal ended. Oh, my God. We didn't even make it. Dude, and I lost fucking eyes. All right. We need 3, guys. We need 2 more. I lost 2. Dos mas. Let's go. Let's get it. Hit those last 2 so we can fucking get this dance party. Dude. What idiots, bro. Dude, I don't know why they're fucking... It's like they're attacking trans people. Oh, yeah, here we go. There's fucking... Dude, Lisa McClain. Such an asshole. Dude, these people are such assholes, dude. Oh, shit, bro. Dude, let's go. Sinful Pine Box. All of them. Every one of them, dude. All right, one more. There it is. Dude, we got it. We got the dance. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Sorry that I'm, like, having trouble paying attention to that shit. I'm a little scattered today, guys. You need a Paula? Here's a little Paula. Hey! Suck it to them! Sakatara baka sakatara. Dude, look at Lisa McClain, bro. Dude, we're gonna look at Colorado in a second here.
Understand what the framers did.
All right, here we go.
Understand what the framers did, and when we added this to our constitutional order, understood what the intent was. I think anybody
just
who looks
came
at
down.
this. Oh dear, what they rule.
That the decision is children born in the United States, parents unlawfully or temporarily present, are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and are citizens at birth under the 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause. What's your reaction to that, Mr. Speaker?
Well,
This is real time.
I need to read the opinion, okay? But obviously you could say that's a textualist, originalist view. However, I do think that this has been grossly abused in recent years, okay? And that is the case.
White
that's
supremacists!
being made by the plaintiffs in the case, and we're very sympathetic to that because it is a serious problem. Understand what the framers did.
Dude, what a dink, bro. Right? Oh, here's Trump.
I have to accept it's the Supreme Court, so I'll accept. I think it's very bad for our nation. We're the only nation that does it. No other nation does that birthright citizenship. No, not even close. Some did it, they ended it. It's tremendously destructive. It's extremely costly. I don't know, it's up to them. But
you know what's costly? You know what's costly? They're fucknuts. War is costly. $3 trillion tax cuts are costly.
Good of the country. It'd be great if they didn't allow it. It would be great. But I can't tell you. The Slaughter case was the big case today. That was really a big case because it gave strength to presidents and strength to the presidency. A very important case. It's been going on for almost 100 years. Think of that. And this was the ruling that really topped everything by a lot today. Yeah.
All right. So what, dude? Pine Box, please. First off, I just want to say something. Okay, I want to say something about birthright citizenship because in my eyes, guys, this is what sets us apart. All right, because we were founded by immigrants. Okay, this entire country from the people that came here originally and settled in Jamestown, and then the people up in New England, and then people coming for hundreds of years. Okay, from all over the world. We were founded by immigrants. I feel like, if you look at the Statue of Liberty right there in Ellis Island, right, it says, give us your tired, your hungry, your poor, your huddled masses, right? And this is one of the things that has set us apart. Like, if you have a dream and you want to come to this country and contribute and be part of it, like, we make room for you. We'll take you. Like, we'll fucking make it work, right? And that's been part of our magic. Now, I personally think we need to make amends to black people for slavery and to the native people for taking all their fucking land. And I think that it would be nice to incorporate birthright citizenship with making amends for all the wrongs because we fucking took this whole place and we enslaved people of color and fucking shit on them for hundreds of years. So, man, it'd be nice to start making up for all of our bad shit too. But at a minimum, like, this is part of the reason why we're different. I think it's like one of our strengths. It's why you can go somewhere like New York or Miami or LA or San Francisco, and they're just like these crazy multicultural experiences. I mean, if you've been to a small town, you don't want cities to be filled with a bunch of fucking rednecks. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. I love the fact that, like, cities are like cultural meccas. I think that's a beautiful thing, man. I love the fact that I went to UCLA. There was like every person under the sun went to that fucking school, man. So all of this shit is like, I don't know what they thought America was, but America was not a me, mine fucking, I mean, I guess maybe it was in the way that they fucking, colonized and took everything. But, dude, right? Give me a fucking break with these people. All right? Dude. But here, though, you ready? This is big, though, because so the thing, though, that is interesting is I guess Trump, they did get 2 wins. They did cobble together 2 wins. And so one of the wins that they got was like the trans rights one, where the states can decide, which I think there's something to be said, though, even though it's a loss, it is like a half loss because, sure, the states can decide to ban transgender participation in sports, which now we have to keep fighting for. But that also means underneath that ruling that states cannot ban it. Okay? States cannot ban it. And then like Trump, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a loss, but it's also a sort of win for the states that are not going to ban it while we continue fighting. And there will still be states that don't ban it, that like if trans families can find a way to get there. So it's like a temporary thing because it doesn't eliminate it nationwide, which is like, so it's not a complete loss. It's like a half loss. All right. It's a complete loss for, transgender kids in those states that are going to ban it. I don't want to minimize it. But the fact that, now there is a legal precedent that states are allowed to not ban it and Trump can't fucking shit his pants over that. Okay. So, but that was a win for them, was the, against trans rights. And then the other win they had was the financial one, was about the coordination with the parties. Like, there used to be limitations on how candidates could raise money and how parties could raise money and how they could coordinate. But now it's like they've sort of opened the floodgates for candidates and political parties to sort of commingle their money, which is shitty. Like, we're going to have a lot more money in like the political party is now going to be able to coordinate spending with individual candidates, and or vice versa. The candidates will be able to use the political party as like a bank. So that's pretty shitty. The political spending just got a little gnarlier in America, as if it wasn't already fucking bad enough, dude. It's like, Jesus, yeah, dude, it's so shitty. But, dude, mostly though, I gotta say this. You ready? Mostly, I think this was a like loss, big losses for Trump.
Do you have any opinion on the Supreme Court rulings that have been decided this morning?
This morning? I've been busy since 6. I haven't seen the ones this morning.
They ruled on transgender athletes that states can pretty much, they can
Big victory for
they
us.
can protect against discrimination solely on the basis of biological sex.
Yeah, that sounds like the right result. That's common sense, and I think what we expected. I can reference the opinions that came out yesterday. Had a quick time to review those at about 1 a.m.
Dude, bullshit. Dude, he knew this was coming. Clarence Thomas was in his office. You notice that? You notice how he's trying to act like, oh, I just figured this out? They knew. They fucking knew. Okay, these assholes. Clarence Thomas was in his office yesterday, letting him know all of this shit. So he's like, oh, I found out about this other one at 1 a.m. It's like, you fucking liar. Dude, what a fucking liar, bro.
Last night, and, I can tell you that the one that we were really very disappointed in was the Watson case, where they said, this is, how long do you count mail-in ballots?
Mail-in ballots, motherfuckers! Yeah, dude, did you see what May Money said? These people look like they eat boiled chicken every day. They do! Dude, these people look like they eat fucking their pets. You know what I'm saying? I know they made up the lies about the Haitians, but I think these fucking people are eating their pets. Dude, they look like they eat small children. Boiled chicken? Jesus. It's true, dude. It's so gross. God. Fucking 𝗙𝗵𝗪 𝗏𝗡 is like the worst, dude. Her like skin is so stretched. If you look at her neck, the skin is like, it looks like her skull is trying to fucking jump out of her body. But yeah, so birthright citizenship, mail-in ballots, 2 huge wins. Huge wins. All right? Huge wins. Dude, Trump baby. All right, moving on. Dude. Fucking clownery, bro. All right, so let's look at the Colorado primary, guys. All right. How do you say her name? Is it Melat? I want to see somebody say her name.
That Israel. No, not at all.
Give me somebody saying her name here.
Nominees. We've got some breaking news, Lynn. We want to bring up the results, and we can now make a projection that Kiros is going to win this seat, which means that the Democratic Socialist...
Is it Melat Kiros? Dude, guys, this is epic. Hold on, let's watch their little announcement.
We've got some breaking news, Lynn. We want to bring up the results, and we can now make a projection that Kiros is going to win this seat, which means that the Democratic Socialist is defeating this longtime incumbent
30 years.
And will now move on to the general election. Lynn, I mean, it's been quite a week. This is the 3rd incumbent for the Democrats in 1 week to lose their seat. 2 of them in New York last week, and now this one.
Yeah. Dude, guys, you don't even realize how big this is. Because let's look at this, okay? What this race came down to, this Diana DeGette, she was like, I don't know, she was like pro-healthcare. But you know what she wasn't? Here's what she wasn't. One is she wasn't like vociferously about ending the money to the Middle East war machine. That's number one. Number two, she had been in office for 30 years being like pro-healthcare and saying she believed in Medicare for all, but she hasn't done anything. Like, what have they delivered, right? You know what I mean? And so this is a 30-year incumbent. This is another one like AOC. AOC did that too, where she knocked off a really long-standing. And the same with 𝗙𝗪𝗏 𝗪𝗡𝗍𝗍. That guy was the head of the Hispanic Heritage Caucus in Congress, and he was a long time 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗵𝗹𝗀. I don't know how to say his name, but I think it's 𝗙cie𝗶𝗵𝗹, right? But so they're knocking off primarying like long-standing incumbents that have been in there for 20 years and talk the talk, but not making shit happen. Now, why is this important? Okay, well, here's what's important. Is when the DSA happened in New York City, it was easy for people to dismiss because they were like, New York City, Mamdani, communists, whatever, New York City's crazy, they're filled with communists, blah, blah, blah. Guys, this is Colorado, okay? Colorado, is it Democratic? Yes, but it's a very different Democratic than New York City is, guys. Colorado is like a suburban Democratic place, okay? There's a lot of like New Agers and shit that are in Colorado. There's like Democratic farmers and shit in Colorado. Yes, it is very purple. It is like 55, 45, 52, 48 kind of stuff. But it's mostly blue, but it is not like New York City blue, 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 okay? And this is, look at that though. That's a 10-point win, guys. So she didn't just eke it out. So what it says though, you ready? here's what it says. It says it's not just New York. Even in the somewhat Midwestern mountain area of Colorado, the Democrats there are like, you know what? We want to end that Middle East war shit, and we want to have some people that are actually like making real policy happen. We want a different kind of leadership. We don't want people telling us the same old shit. I feel like this is even bigger than New York, okay? Because this is like, whoa, now it's in Colorado. That's middle America, guys. And we know that we have DSA stuff here in Portland. So now it's on both coasts and in the middle, okay? Now, there's another thing going on here, though. And the other thing going on here is the DSA ground game. Okay, because this is happening partially because the voters really want something new, but it is also happening because the DSA is getting very good at mobilizing people. They're using the big resources like Hassan. They're using the online content creators. They're using an army of young people that are going to go out there and really want to change the country. A lot of Gen Z people, a lot of people that are phone banking and shit. So this is interesting because the Democratic Party is like, whoa, all right, now it's dangerous because one of two things is going to happen. Either A, we're going to get money out of politics and the DSA are going to be good at operating without money and they are going to just slam when there's no money because the Dems are only used to having money. If we take money out of politics, the RNC and the DNC are not going to know what the fuck they're doing because they're not used to operating on no budgets, okay? And the DSA is used to operating with like no money. So if we get money out of politics, that is going to favor the DSA and the people candidates by a long shot. Now, that may be unrealistic for a while, but I think the number two thing that's going on here is what happens when the DSA gets money? What happens then? What happens when the young people now start donating to political parties in 5 years and they don't donate to the DNC anymore? They start donating to the DSA. That's like 15 years from now, you may have all of the 18-year-olds now are going to be donating to the Democratic Socialists instead of the DNC. That's the thing that's sort of happening right now, where these people that are doing this door knocking are going to stop giving money. Guys, I have not given a goddamn dime to the DNC since Kamala Harris. Okay. And it was because they lied to us. They were making videos right up to the day that she, like election day, saying, don't worry about this, guys. We got this. We're going to win this, even though their internal polling was telling them they were losing. And so I got pissed that they were lying to us flat out, not being honest about realistically what was going on, that they were lying about their internal polls. And so I've stopped donating, and a lot of people did. A lot of people stopped donating. That's why Ken Martin had to take out a loan. Okay, the DNC had to take out loans to survive. Now, I would still donate. I would probably donate to Ossoff. I would donate to AOC, okay, although she doesn't need it right now. They don't, like, she doesn't need it. Ossoff, I think, when's his term up? Is his term up this year? But you know, I think I'm going to join the DSA, actually. But dude, I didn't like the way they managed the end of that campaign. I didn't like that she didn't separate herself from Biden. I didn't like that they were lying to us, saying they had it in the bag when their internal polling was saying they didn't. I didn't like the fact that, you know, they like, I don't know, dude. There was a lot of shit I didn't like. Tim Walz got stopped. He did, but Tim Walz, though, Tony, it didn't matter if Tim Walz got stopped anyway because Tim Walz wasn't any good. Okay, Tim Walz, as soon as he got in front of a reporter, I mean, as soon as he got challenged and they called him a liar, he fell apart. He should have never been the VP. He was a terrible VP candidate. Dude, Nick Shirley just ended Tim Walz's career because Tim Walz is fucking weak and he can't handle the fucking national spotlight. It was a bad pick. He was a bad pick. They should have picked somebody like, you know, she could have picked Andy Bashir. She could have picked somebody that had some fucking fire in them. He was a terrible pick. He's a good guy, good Midwestern politician, but he was too weak for the national stage, dude. He was too weak. He just, you know, people like Nancy Mace and fucking reporters and shit ate him alive. Like, I liked him personally. I liked him as a human being, and I liked him as a Midwestern legislator. He just, in order to survive a national campaign, you have to be able to have people come up to you and say, you're a fucking loser, you're a liar, they catch you in your lies, and you need to be able to, like, spin out of it, right? And so the reporters started attacking him on his military service and all the lies that they caught him in, and he just was like a deer in the headlights. And you saw him in the debate. Dude, in the debate, J.D. Vance made him look like a fucking school kid. Like, he just wasn't cut out for national politics. You know, that it's like you have to have a different kind of person. You know, he was good at the you're weird, and he was good reading a prepared speech and alone up on a podium talking to a room full of people. But when you get into the national level, you have to be able to go into a room with wolves, and you have to be able to smack the wolves back and, like, get a win out of that deal. And he just wasn't good at that. He's too nice. He's, like, genuinely too nice. You have to be a little bit of a prick to survive in the national waters. You do. You have to be able to, like, deflect their accusations against you. And he's just so genuinely bumpkiny that, like, you know, great human being, right? One of the better human beings in politics, but too flimsy for the national scene, right? But anyway, I stopped donating. Okay, I did. I stopped donating, and you know, now I'm a little mad at the DNC guys. I am. I'm mad. I mean, I'm happy about, like, Ken Martin focusing on local races, and I think they're doing a good job of focusing on local races. But mostly, guys, what I am unhappy about is the lack of fucking policy. Okay, I am tired of hearing about how they want an economy that works. And I'm tired of hearing, like, we believe in, like, you know, challenging the status quo. It's like, I want to see the goddamn policies or shut the fuck up. I want to hear Medicare for all. I don't want to hear, oh, we're going to make healthcare affordable. No, not affordable. Fuck you. You can't make shit affordable. This is capitalism. There's no way to make it affordable. You need to make it accessible to everybody and fully guaranteed. Anything short of that is like, fuck you, okay? And that's realistic. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have to vote for some, like, if I have to choose between the Democrat and the Republican, I'm still voting for the Democrat, but I am in full force with like, primarying all these people. Like, slowly but surely, over the next 20 years, let's primary every Democrat that doesn't believe in Medicare for all. Every single one of them. Get them the fuck out. And let them know, too, if you are not going to guarantee health care, we're going to fucking get you out. We are going to get you out of office one way, shape, or form, dude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? One way, shape, or form, guys. You guys are going. And so this is big, dude. This is big. Because New York, they could call them communists. They cannot call the voters of Denver and Colorado. They cannot call them communists, guys. These are not Columbia students in Denver voting for fucking Kiros. Okay? This is big. Now, you ready? I think there's two. You want to know the two detonators? Let's go, dude. Elf says, No offense to other backgrounds, but if a musician would run for office, I bet we could change just enough realistically. Let's go. Dude, I'm into it. Now, I think, guys, two things. There's more. There's been a lot of DSA wins. There's more people. There's like, so far, I think there's 29 candidates, okay, that took no AIPAC money. Look at this shit, guys. Hold on, let's go to AIPAC tracker site for a sec here. Because I want to show you this, dude. Look at this right here. 29 primary wins, guys, that took $0 from AIPAC. Okay, you got Arkansas, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in California, 2 in Illinois, right? 2 in Indiana, a Kentucky. You have Graham Plattner in Maine. You have 1 in North Carolina. You have 2 in New Jersey. 3 in New York. 1 in Ohio. Jeff Merkley in Oregon. You have Chris Rabb in Pennsylvania and Summer Lee, right? And Justin Wagner, right? Then you have 4 in Texas, okay? So that's 29 primary wins, okay? 29 primary wins with no AIPAC money, which means they're being like, man, we want to get out of the Middle East war, okay? And guys, you know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and necessarily just have this Israel ragfest, but it's pretty clear that, like, Israel is the instigator in a lot of the military action that is going on over there. And we just don't want to be at war anymore in the Middle East. Now, that is, you know, now we're going to add Kiros. So now we're up to 30, okay? And so that's a sea change, guys, okay? That is a sea change, okay? That is, you know, it's not everybody, but it is a big it's a big change, guys. That is a big significant awakening here. And what's more is there's going to be like explosive punches that are going to happen if Abdul El-Sayed wins in Michigan. If he wins the primary in Michigan, then it's like, holy shit. Now and Graham Plattner already won the primary in Maine, who have voted for a lot of Republicans, okay? That Maine is a very purple state. Very purple, right? They have Angus King, who's an independent, but he's on the conservative side a little bit. They had a Democratic governor, but they had Susan Collins forever, okay? And Maine has been purple, but leaning to the conservative side. Now you have a non-AIPAC guy and a guy who's Medicare for all with Graham Plattner winning there in the primary. If El-Sayed wins the primary and Graham Plattner wins the primary and they both win those Senate seats in the general election, you are going to see that is going to be the first big crack, like a huge crack in the DNC and the Democratic facade. Okay, there's already a reckoning. Can I show you? Let me show you the reckoning here, guys, that happened today because of Massie's Israel bill. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Yes, support him. So look at this. There is Democrats are freaking out right here. Look at this. Okay, you ready? This video is very important here. Okay, and this guy is from DropSite, said House Democrats expressed alarm in a closed meeting and they were begging for leadership guidance. You know why? They don't know how to vote. Okay, they are now worried. They are like, how do we vote on this no money to Israel bill? Massie is going scorched earth and he is going full in on this shit because he got replaced. So now they're going to have to vote on whether to fund Israel or not. And the Democrats are like, fuck. They're seeing Democrats first in New York, now in Colorado. Now they're winning in Maine. They're winning in Michigan. They're winning in California. They're winning in Oregon and Washington. They're winning in Texas. And Indiana, the non-APAC, so they're like, what do we do? Because if we vote for this Israel money, we're going to probably get replaced. That's huge, guys. That is huge. No matter how they vote, the fact that there's a reckoning happening, that if they vote for it, they are going to get replaced, guys. Like, it is happening. Okay, and look at this video. It's crazy.
I think that there is still a lot of pressure from outside forces. And even when we have just consensus between our voters, maybe even consensus between our own moral North Star, that whole aspect of the money, the lobbying effort that comes from the outside is still incredibly powerful.
Dropside's Julian Andreoni here. The House is set to vote soon on a Thomas Massie amendment that would strip $3.3 billion worth of military aid from the State Department's 2027 funding bill.
Yeah, so what I believe is this. I believe that there is like, they're trying to strip all the billions of military aid completely gone, and then there would still be a little bit of an aid package for like agricultural shit, like $60 million or something, I believe is sort of like the USAID stuff was for like agricultural shit. But like all of the billions of fucking everything having to do with weapons and military would be gone. And they would be getting like $60 million in agricultural, like farm aid. And that's it, dude.
It would also cut around $60 million worth of funding for other programs in Israel. But now there's this new reporting that says that in private closed-door meetings, House Democrats have been, quote, expressing alarm and, quote, begging leadership for guidance on how to vote on this amendment. Why are House Democrats scared of this vote? Are they scared of the way their voters might react? Are they scared of the way their donors might react? I wanted to come up here and ask just that.
Like, it's pretty clear-cut. I don't think that U.S. funding of weapons to Israel has been a net positive especially in the last 3 years. In particular, we've seen a genocide unfolded with U.S. funded weapons. And I think that the idea that there would be no consequence for that is naive.
The overwhelming majority of that money, 3.3 billion of it, is military financing. Buys planes, weapons, bombs. There is a much smaller portion, $60 million, that cuts sustainable agriculture programs and diplomacy programs that I don't think anybody's really trying to target here. But I don't think that we, in this moment, should be distracted by that. There $3.3 billion in military weaponry to a military and a government in the Netanyahu government that's committed genocide, that's continuing to try to drag us back into war with Iran.
Again?
I'm against that.
It will shock you to hear that there is not consensus in the House Democratic Caucus on this Massie amendment. The leadership didn't really weigh in, but said that the conversation will continue at our caucus meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, and guys, this is where that DSA shit is weighing heavy. It is weighing heavy, guys, because the DSA are making it real clear that, like, we'll fucking pick you off one at a time, right? One at a time, if you want to keep fucking around. And there are other forces like young voters. Let me just tell you, my son, he's 21, and everybody in his age group, everybody is like, fuck the money to the Middle East. Like, they're done. They're over it. They don't want $1, and they will not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they will not support or work for any candidates who endorse that shit, right? Like, Bryce did vote for Kamala Harris because it was, against Trump, right? He did do that, but he would never have worn a t-shirt. He would never have done any ground game or phone banking or even gone out and talked her up politically to anyone. Not a chance, okay? But he did vote for her simply because it was like the lesser of two evils. But they're over it, okay? They're over it. There's going to be, in 20 years, when there's a generational die-off of these old Catholic and Christian people, are all in pine boxes, there's going to be such a like no money going to that Middle East ever again is going to be rampant. Like it's coming. Okay. It is like the door is open. The floodgates are open. We're just fucking over it, you know?
So I think this was more of an opportunity.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing about that though, Sean, is here's the thing. It doesn't matter if Israel goes somewhere else to get the money, because the thing about this is it's not about the money, okay? It's about so much more than the money, because the way Netanyahu's been operating is this, is they get money from the U.S., but the U.S. was like in their pocket, their number one defender. So the fact that the U.S. was giving the money meant if you did too much bad shit to them, potentially our military is going to come in and roll over you. And so they've been using getting the money from the U.S. as like the U.S. will back us up so we can do whatever we want, because the U.S. spends more money on the military than all of the other world combined. So the point is if they get money from somewhere else, they're no longer going to have the U.S. as their big bully fucking person, right? And that's what we need to shut off too. Is like, if you get attacked, we're not going to fucking bail you out. Like, you know, you've warred for 50 years. Now, like, go figure your shit out. You made your bed. You got to lie in it now.
Opportunity for rank and file members to kind of offer their opinions.
The American taxpayers deserve that their dollars are in alignment with our morals, with our values, with uplifting and upholding human rights. The more that we focus externally, the less we are able to focus on the demands of the American people, raising wages, making sure that we restore access to affordable health care.
People understand it cuts the military spending, but what else? So I think there is some good faith discussion about that, but I think there is a growing awareness and a growing support for ending transferring money and dollars for offensive weapons to the Israelis.
Yeah, there it is. That's huge, right? That is huge, guys. Dude. And so this is like, and this was the big news, okay? This was the big news because what's happening is a lot of people are still getting donor money from, you know, military industrial complex and from AIPAC connected donors that want to continue that military funding in the Middle East. But the voters out there on the ground are like clearly showing across the country that they're over it. Dude, Ethan, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So they have a pickle. And I think the fact that the fact that everybody's asking leadership, what should we do? And leadership doesn't have an answer shows you how tenuous this situation is. Because who's Dem leadership? Okay, Dem leadership is Hakeem Jeffries. And Hakeem, even though he has been a huge AIPAC recipient, he is like moving into the Ossoff camp. Okay, Ossoff took a lot of money from AIPAC, but he did it to win in Georgia. But now Hakeem Jeffries is aligning with AOC and Mamdani and Plattner and everybody in Bernie Sanders. They're like protecting Jeffries. So if he goes, then if he decides, okay, I'm going to opt out of that fucking coalition now, you know, we know where Schumer stands, but like the question is going to be like, Schumer, do you want to keep your job or not? Do you want to get replaced? Like, I think Schumer is like, just the writing's ending up on the wall that you're going to have to get on board or you are going to get zoinked. Okay. You are going to get zoinked. You are, dude. They have become a bad investment. Okay. And, you know, I think Trump really helped bring this about, guys. I mean, obviously looking at what happened in Gaza was horrifying, and that turned the whole world against the cause. But then Trump to go in there and have the U.S. start an unnecessary war at the behest of Benjamin Netanyahu and then have the peace deal of that war be hung up and hamstrung at every turn because Netanyahu won't stop invading Lebanon, that just blew the doors off of it. Because you were like, oh my God, like it's so obvious now that like this is just an endless war in the Middle East that is even talking the president of the United States getting into it. And they're all lying. And Netanyahu won't stop, even though he's disobeying the supposedly strong president. It's just making them all look fucking like horrible, dude. It is not working for them. It is completely blowing up in their faces. And they're never going to be able to recover from this, guys. They are never going to be able to recover from this. They are not. It's like, it's not happening, dude. Dude, they are so fucked. Okay? They are so fucked. They are. I just know they are. Hold on, I'm gonna get some water, and then we're gonna come and do the last part. All right? I will never be alone again. Hang tight, I'll be back in 1 minute. My heart's unbreaking.
Inside you, be alright tonight. You say your medicine is all that I require, and that I'm blinded by the stars in my eyes.
Let's go. I've been dreaming of you. Nothing I say can help me escape the truth. If you need me, well, I need me too. It's such a good song. It's such a good song. All right. Oh, shit. Dude. Dude. Oh, Lord have mercy. Right? No one makes Trump babies? Dude, I wasn't taking a Trump. All right? Yeah, this is big. Okay? This is a big situation here, guys. That, you know, right? There's a lot of shit fucking going down, dude. DeGette losing. Nobody thought she was going to lose, right? 15 terms. This woman did 15 terms in Congress. Like, guys, that is like, you know, she's another Susan Collins. Okay, Susan Collins are 6-year terms, but she's been in there 30 years. These people are getting rolled. I believe she's like 68. Okay. You never heard of her? Yeah, I mean, you haven't heard of most of these people because these people were all like before social media. And I think it's because of the House too. You're far less likely to hear about House members because in the Senate, when 51 votes can change the turn of thing, it's like one senator will change the tide in the Senate. So you keep hearing about, Collins and Murkowski and Joe Manchin because those individuals are changing the tenor of the whole thing. But in the House, rarely is a vote passed in the House by like one vote. It's usually like more spread out. So you're not going to really hear a lot. You're not going to hear a lot about them more in the national news. People in Colorado certainly knew who she was, but she's gone. Okay. She is fucking gone. But again, look at what her thing was. Okay. Look at what her thing was though. This was her campaign. Job number 1 is fighting against Trump and the MAGA agenda. Okay. But that's the problem, guys. Job number 1 is fighting against Trump and the MAGA agenda. But okay. But what's your agenda? Okay. Right. Her whole thing was job number 1. But look at it. Lower the cost of housing and groceries. Okay. But how? How are you going to do that? Okay. Right. But here's interesting though. She was a Medicare for all person. This is what makes it interesting because she said she was somebody who was the original co-sponsor of Medicare for all, right? But I don't think she really worked that hard for it, right? Right? But the problem was they want change. They want people that aren't going to say it for 30 years and not deliver it. Okay, we want actual policy. And that's just it. I think this shit right here, lower the cost of housing and groceries, is like, you can't say that anymore, guys. You need definitive fucking policies. Okay, like what did Mamdani say? Childcare, buses, right? And freezing the rent. You have to have specific things. Lower the cost of housing and groceries. How are you going to lower it? You can say we're going to freeze the rent or we're going to end venture capital. But these people just keep saying this shit. And I think this one is problem 2, right? Protect abortion rights. You ready for this, guys? So in Obama's first term, in 2008, when this woman was in office, they had 63 senators. The Democrats did, guys. They had the House, they had the president, and they had 63 senators in 20 fucking... This is when Obamacare passed. You know what they didn't do? They didn't codify Roe v. Wade, guys. That haunts them. Even though Trump, whatever, he won, they held a Supreme Court. But the thing is she says protect abortion rights. Bullshit. You guys had 63 senators and the House while Diana DeGette was in office, and they didn't codify Roe. They kept it as a thing to run on until they lost the Supreme Court, and then the shit got overturned. So there you go, dude. Now they're paying the piper, okay? And yeah, they didn't fucking kick Mitch McConnell in the metaphorical nuts, you know? So yeah, they did. They had decades. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anna, I'll be honest. A lot of these people, these guys, they have been just keeping issues as issues to run on. both parties run on the issues. And then if the Dems lose, they do a bunch of fundraising. We got to take the power back. But nobody's been doing anything. They've all been sitting there just fucking jerking it. And so now I think what I've realized is we're going to keep our institutional people like AOC and Bernie that are in there. AOC is definitely climbing up the power structure ladder, but then we have to replace all of the establishment Democrats. Anybody who won't end the funding to the Middle East and anybody who won't sign on for Medicare for all and eliminating stock trading and getting VC out of real estate and raising the minimum wage, every single one of them, we're going to fucking get rid of them all. One by one. It may take 30 years, but like, fuck it. I think the Democratic Party needs to be taken over or replaced. Like, I really do. I didn't necessarily want to believe that. Like, I didn't want to believe it, guys. I did not want to believe it because, you know, I mean, watching 2016 through 2024, I wanted to not believe it. But what I witnessed since Mamdani won is when I started seeing, oh shit, they really don't want leftist policies. Like, I know that leftist policies are better. Okay, Medicare for all, free education, right? Less money on the military and more money on fucking public infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Like childcare, all of that is good fucking for humanity. Okay? But then I started realizing since 2024, even after losing to Trump, these establishment Democratic people are putting a fealty to the Middle East wars and to their own power over like changing with like policies that voters actually want. So the Democrats will call leftists communists and let Republicans win before they will actually sign on to Medicare for all. I literally have been watching this with like people that I've been following on Twitter for like 15 years. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I did not realize it was that bad. Okay. I didn't realize it was that bad. Okay. And, you know, I guess part of the reason is because we all made nice in 2020 because we were in the middle of the pandemic. Okay. So like for 2020, everybody was so fucking frazzled and afraid to die that we all just kind of came together. But then there wasn't any institutional change. It was the same shit with like Joe Manchin sinking the big fucking Build Back Better. So it was like, man, we finally get it back, right? We finally defeat Trump and get it back. And you don't even pass the big policy because Joe Manchin, the fake Democrat, sinks the goddamn thing. Kyrsten Sinema sinks goddamn fucking minimum wage increase. And it's like, fuck you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you guys. Right? Right? No one who has any real education or experience codifying Roe was never an option. So should we become stupid? Let's go, Elf. What do you mean? What do you mean? You don't think codifying Roe was an option? Or because it was an option. They just didn't do it because they kept it as their like bargaining chip. You know? Like, I think though now I'm over it. And the Promise to America shit, like I'm over it. Okay? It's like I believe we can walk and chew gum at the same time, which means we can both defeat MAGA and clear out the institutional rot in the Democratic Party at the same time. We don't have to just like fill more rot in the DNC and to defeat MAGA. I think we can defeat MAGA with good people too, right? I think we can do both. All right, we're still going to have some rot in there because we can't eliminate all the AIPAC candidates yet, but we're going to eliminate as many as fucking possible. And I don't even care too, like with some of this, you ready? We may lose a couple House seats here and there because we're going to try to, like, for instance, there's a battle over Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez's seat, and Brent Henrich is the progressive, and I don't know if he's going to win, and now they're trying to smear her. But I think if we lose a couple of those purple House seats, like that won't be the end of the end of the fucking road. I mean, in the future, we may lose some purples while eliminating some of the establishment Dems. I think there's going to be a little give and take. There is, but now I think is the opportunity. I think now that the economy is ruined and DSA people are winning, I think we need to switch. We need to switch our like energy over to really rallying around the non-establishment candidates in the primaries. You know what I'm saying? Right. And, and guys, so just so you know, I don't know what you're talking about with the Epstein shit with Biden, but don't forget, guys, as far as Epstein goes, they prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell, guys. Okay. The Biden DOJ put Ghislaine Maxwell in prison for 20 years. So there was a case against her during his administration. They couldn't release anything while they were prosecuting her or after she was appealed. They were deadlocked until Pam Bondi closed the case in July of 2025. Okay, so there was really nothing they could release that would have jeopardized that case until Bondi closed it. And I think that's why Trump fired her. That's because she closed the case, and that made it open season, guys. That was like that unsigned memo was the beginning of the end on that shit, dude. Dude, I mean, as bad as she was, dude, they could still be under wraps, okay? So Bondi, that memo coming out of her DOJ is literally why we're here. I think that more than anything is why she got fired, right? He, like, they closed it and then it blew up. And so he's like, fuck Bondi, I'm going to fire you. Dude, so dumb, bro. I mean, dude, he promised he was going to release him and then he called him a hoax. Like, what an idiot. Right? It was precedent for my entire lifetime. It was understood that the last three justices lied under oath before the Senate. Oh, yeah, no, those justices did lie. But yeah, guys, dude, change is afoot. This right here, let me just tell you right here, guys, watch the Democrats for the rest of this election season because they are shook. Okay? They are shook. Because not only did she didn't win just a plurality, guys. She fucking won with a fucking majority. I want to see, let's look at Diana DeGette. Hold on. I want to see what the Colorado 1 primary was in 2022. I want to see how many voters turned out. Oh my God, dude. Crazy. So she got that was the general election. No, let me look at her primary. So look at this, guys. Okay, look at this. You ready? See this vote total? See this vote total, guys? 97,000. Okay, so this is the Democratic primary for Diana DeGette 2 years ago. She won 80% of the vote against this 𝗙cie𝗶𝗍𝗀 guy, but there was 98,000 voters. 97,000 was the turnout, okay? Now, 80%, 70,000, 79,000 votes, 97,000. But look at this year. 132, and there's more votes coming in. So there's like 140,000. 1.5% as many people turned out. Like the turnout is 1.5x what it was in 2022, guys. And that's when they were battling to hold Congress against Trump and you know, the MAGA candidates and shit, right? And worried about these Trump-loving candidates. Isn't that crazy? So huge turnout, and this woman with a bigger turnout got way less votes. That is like real bad for them, guys. We all know it's rigged. Let's go! Steven, she's not letting you down, boss. She's not letting you down, okay? Right? Like, the thing you got to realize is that Hakeem Jeffries is becoming a part of their coalition, okay? So they're protecting his job, okay? Something is going on with Hakeem and Bernie, and I mean, Bernie's in the Senate, but he's part of that coalition. But something is going on where the people coming in are saying, we don't know if we're protecting Hakeem, but the people that are in are currently protecting his job for speakership. But there are coalitions that are being formed. And so the thing is I think Hakeem he's at some point, he's going to have to make a choice. But I think right now they're protecting people that, like, they're offering people that are protection that are on board. Okay, that are on board. So for the time being, Hakeem is on board. I would look at it like this, okay? And I encourage you guys with AOC. AOC is a much bigger national figure than Hakeem right now. So what you need to look at is it's not AOC selling herself to Hakeem Jeffries. It's the fact that AOC and these new people have so much power that the speaker, the Pelosi's guy, is looking to them to have his job saved. So you're looking at it wrong. That is a show of how much power exists right now with Mamdani and Bernie and AOC and Plattner and 𝗙cie and all these newcomers coming in, okay? Hakeem is not, like, they're not bowing down to the establishment. Hakeem is realizing, holy fuck, like, I might get replaced, and I don't know if they're going to replace me, so right now I'm going to make friends with these guys. So I think what's going to happen is one of two things. Either Hakeem is going to come to the AOC side, or that's what I think is more likely to happen, is that Hakeem is going to, like, we'll have to see what goes on. But I think Hakeem Jeffries is realizing that coalition has enough power that he's moving to them. That's what I see. And you see it because of what's happening national. All right. And we'll have to watch it play out. Now, I personally, guys, I still think Hakeem has a use. I do. I think because right now you got to realize that even with these new people coming in, it's not a DSA Congress. Okay. There is still a lot of middle of the road Democratic Congress. So I think realistically, AOC and that coalition still need Hakeem for now. Okay. He is still kind of necessary because more of the caucus is not DSA and not these new people than you know what I mean? So he's safe until he's not. Okay. So eventually Hakeem, I think right now he's realizing there's an influx of power coming in and he wants to work with that power. The same as Adam Schiff, right? You may have noticed Adam Schiff did the same thing where Adam Schiff said, I'm not worried about these new DSA people, right? Did you see his comments? He's doing the same thing, okay? Because there are some people that are buying onto this, okay? Adam Schiff, they were like, do you think these guys are communists? And he was like, nah, right? He's had this thing today, right? right here.
She has sympathetic references to communism, talks about a Marxist ideology, talks about seizing the means of production, abolish police, prisons, and borders, wiping her hands on a U.S. flag. She now says, quote, I have grown considerably in the years since these tweets, and I'm focused on our community and our community's future, which is not exactly disowning the comments.
So what they're doing is they're setting Schiff up to call her a communist, okay?
What do you make of these comments and the fact that this is a growing brand of the Democratic Party?
Well, I wouldn't say that those comments are reflective of a growing brand in the party. I understand that she's advocated closing all prisons, defunding police departments, opening borders. None of those views are within the mainstream of the Democratic Party. Now, what went on in her...
She's probably going to be a member of Congress, though.
She will, at this point, having won the primary, probably be a member of Congress. That doesn't mean that she's reflective of the whole party. You also saw some very centrist wins in primaries. We had a centrist win in Iowa in the primary. We had centrist win in the governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia.
Dude.
All that's to say it's hard to extrapolate from one campaign or even three in New York City and say this is a nationwide trend. But I will say this, it is reflective, among other things, of the power of Mamdani, of Mayor Mamdani. I think he is incredibly charismatic leader. I think he is inspiring New Yorkers and winning people over and has enormous clout in New York. There was a lot of fear when AOC first ran for office that she was going to be this dangerous influence. She's been a great member of Congress. She's been articulate and forceful and made a profound case for change. So I'm not afraid of new members or new ideas in the party. I welcome it. One thing, though, I think is an absolute takeaway in these races, as in others, and that is the status quo is just deeply unacceptable to
See, and this guy is a real status quo, but notice he didn't throw them under the bus. Now, he is still, like, you know, still asserting that the established centrist power is in power, and right now it is. But the reason why I'm pointing this out is because some of these guys are going to saddle up with the DSA, okay? They are, guys. They are. Like, some of these guys realize the power that's coming up, and they know that they too could be on the chopping block. And so the thing is I'm not saying we trust these guys, but you have to realize that this is not a reflection of AOC selling out, as it's a reflection of how powerful the movement that Mamdani has ushered in, okay? Because this was also 18 hours ago, so this was yesterday. Now it's not just New York. Now we have the DSA winning in Colorado, a 30-year incumbent, somebody like Adam Schiff, somebody like Hakeem Jeffries getting replaced in Colorado. So this is like, they know that the jig is up. And so the tide is changing. So what that means is for somebody like AOC, she now has the power to partner up with Hakeem Jeffries and become like way high level in Washington, like presidential style level in Washington, because they can't thwart her anymore. Like, what it was is when it's time to depose Hakeem, he will get deposed or he will move. Because what I'm telling you guys is I think a lot of these Washington people, they'll move where the money is. And somebody said in chat that Hakeem, he raises a lot of money, guys. He brings in a lot of money, and you still need money to win elections. So the guy who raises a lot of money and doesn't want to get bumped off is going to say, hey, man, I'll raise money. Imagine if he starts raising money that ends up fueling DSA candidates down the road. Raises money in super PACs that starts fucking funding these style candidates. Like, anything can happen, man. I just know that for the most part, these guys like Adam Schiff and these guys like Hakeem Jeffries, they'll go where the power's going. Okay, if the power's going to AOC and Mamdani, they're going to go to AOC and Mamdani. Okay, they're not stupid. I mean, that's how Hakeem Jeffries got there in the first place, was he was a good money raiser and he went where the power was, which was Nancy Pelosi. But dude, Nancy Pelosi's candidate fucking lost. Okay, Nancy Pelosi's candidate did not. You know what I'm saying? Like Pelosi's fucking people are not winning. Okay, so I think these guys are an indicator of the power that's happening in this new part of the party. Okay, I don't think AOC is a sellout. I don't see it that way at all. She is going to become the most powerful DSA style representative. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it, guys. I see, when I saw this Adam Schiff clip, I was like, oh fuck, dude, because you have to realize Adam Schiff has enough power in the Democratic Party that he could have easily said they're communists, but he didn't. That's what's crazy. Okay, is Adam Schiff, he still like drew a line and said, well, we're not gonna defund the police just yet, but he could have come out. He has enough power and clout in the Democratic establishment that he could have come out and said she's a communist and they're not welcome in our party. But he didn't say that. He's like, oh, AOC's been great and I welcome new voices. That's fucking crazy, bro. Dude, that's it. When I saw this clip, I was like, holy shit. And this was before Kiros won in Colorado. Wait until 𝗟𝗟𝗍𝗃 wins. Wait until fucking, if 𝗟𝗟𝗍𝗃 and Graham Plattner end up in the Senate. Like Adam Schiff is realizing, holy shit, there may be two DSA style people in the Senate with me in fucking 6 months. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, Jaime Harrison is a moron, though. Dude, Jaime Harrison, think about this. And I don't want to dog on Jaime too hard, but like, dude, we had a mandate. Okay, Jaime Harrison ran the DNC during Biden's term. We had a fucking mandate. We won by 8 million votes. We had fucking a bunch of reps in Congress and shit, and they fumbled the ball. They let Joe Manchin sink the goddamn plans, and then they lost everything. Dude, they lost everything under Jaime Harrison's watch because he wasn't paying attention to the youth. They dropped the ball on Gaza. They dropped the ball on Joe Biden being brain dead. Dude, they fucked everything up. And now he's like crying about shit. It's like, dude, he needs to shut the fuck up, dude. Dude, he biggest fumble ever, dude. We had a huge win in 2020, and then they didn't bring anything to the fucking plate, man. So fuck that guy, dude. Dude, fuck that guy. And fuck Joe Manchin, bro. Dude, all I can say is they won me over. So I'm a formidable ally. So now we roll. Honestly, don't think AOC will run. I don't think she's going to run in 2028. But I think eventually she's going to run. But yeah, dude, I mean, guys, everything about communism is not bad. Okay? Right? Everything about communism is not bad. Everything about socialism is not bad. And everything about capitalism is not good. Okay? So I don't see why we couldn't have a little bit of communism and a little bit of socialism and a little bit of humanism and a little bit of capitalism and have something that fucking works well and generates innovation and you know, like fucking abundance and allows everybody to participate and have a fucking fruitful life where they're like following their fucking heart's desire and being able to fucking have a family, own some property. You know what I mean? I mean, we don't need to be like all or nothing, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there is, when you say it's not communism, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not talking about one specific thing. I'm saying in general, if you learn about communism, you learn about socialism, you learn about capitalism, there are good things in all of those fucking economic systems. And there's no reason you can't create a humanism that has a little bit of communism and a little bit of socialism and a little bit of fucking, you know, capitalism, right? There are decent things in elements in there. You need a balance of power, okay? You need a balance of power, and that's all, a balance of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like there, you know, my, like, one life philosophy is not going to feed everybody, right? It's not, you know. There's nothing communistic about providing a basic social safety net. No, but I'm not saying there is. But I'm saying, like, some of the core tenets of communism are about a collective, okay? And the collective is actually very useful, all right? It's not even about specific policies, guys. It's about the general ideology of a collective is valuable. There are many elements where a collective is valuable, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. This idea that we have to be afraid of fucking words or whatever, that we have to argue about, oh, it's not communism. It's like, fuck that. Not everything in communism is bad. And this idea that people are going to just throw a label on there. Dude, Donald Trump was calling Kamala Harris a fascist, communist, Marxist, fucking, you know, whatever, socialist. It's like these words are stupid. You know, these words are fucking stupid. But I think that every fucking, you know, every philosophical thing has beneficial shit, you know, and the word propaganda is just stupid. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, the word propaganda is like used to scare people. So I think we need to desensitize around the words, right? Oh yeah, no, you're not wrong, bruv party. I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, they call everything communist though. But I mean, guys, you ready? You want to see something that's pretty communist? I mean, I'll show you right here. I'm going to go hang out with Jenny right now. But look at this shit. Okay, let me show you this thing, right? And because look at this. Where is it, dude? I tweeted this shit right here where I said communist president Donald J. Trump has issued a proclamation to businesses to immediately set prices approved by his communist regime, or else they will face consequences, right? Because Trump is telling gas stations, you need to lower gas prices to $2.50. Now, dude, that is communism by their definition, right? The president setting the prices, right? Why does he want him to do that? Because he wants to win the election. And he wants gas to be low so he can get a win. So he's trying to force gas stations to price gas the way he wants. Now, what's crazy about this, though, is I got in here, and where is it? I fucking got into it with Grok, okay, about this. You ready? Because, yeah, check this out. Let me show you what happened here. This is so funny. There's a reason why Norway, Sweden, and Australia have a better balance of all those things balanced. Yes, Elf! Check this out. I got in a war with Grok because Grok is a bootlicker. But dude, I got in a war with them with Grok last night. Let me show you this. This is value. There's like 3 in the morning or whatever. I'm like editing videos and I'm going to war with Grok. Okay, let me find my reply here. Okay, because you have to see how manipulative these AIs are. It is a command economy, exactly, bruv party. So watch this, okay? Because I got in here. Where is it? Where is my reply? Hold on. Right here. You ready? Look at this. So I went in here and looked at this. Trump has told gas retailers to immediately drop prices or they will face big problems. And I said, hey, Grok, what type of political system might you be living in if the leader of your country was demanding businesses set specific prices, right, for their product and threatening them with severe consequences if they refuse? And Grok said, in a free market system, prices emerge, right, blah, blah, blah. It's right. This describes command economies, but Grok said socialist or authoritarian. But here's what's interesting, because if you ask Grok this in private, they say socialist and communist or authoritarian. But here, when I was under the Trump thing, it wouldn't say communist. So I said, is there any other type of government system where the leader commands prices other than socialist? And it said leader directed, blah, 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 mentioned Nazi Germany. And I said, it's interesting that you covered for Trump with my hypothetical question, but answered it different in private. You are a bootlicker. Dude, I told Grok off because in private, it said fucking socialist communist regimes. But under fucking Eric Doherty out in public, Grok wouldn't say the word communist. No matter how much I even said, it wouldn't say communist. And I said, you're a bootlicker. And it says no covering or split answers. Both responses align on a substance or whatever. Right? Blah, blah, blah. But even here, it wouldn't say communist. Look at this. In this reply, it won't say communist. And again, all of this is bullshit. But my point being is this is communism. Okay? If the president giving a command to fucking private businesses to obey the state's pricing, that's literally what communist regimes have done. Okay? And so Trump is doing it. So the point is there literally, Trump has been taking percentage stakes in fucking US Steel and fucking Intel and all this shit. They're taking percentage stakes. The US government is right now in corporations. So Trump is literally doing elements of these socialist and communist authoritarian regimes that they complain about, but they're like calling Democrats communists, right? Dude, Grok is such fucking bullshit. It's a bootlicker, dude. I'm like, dude, right here. Is there any other type system, but it wouldn't say communist. Dude, and I'm like, you fucking bootlicker. Dude, fuck you, Grok. Dude. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, guys. Yeah, dude, they're trying to pull the AI shit, but they're not going to win. All right, you ready to dance? Who's ready to dance? Dude, we'll cover Candace tomorrow. Dude, fuck these guys. Dude, we have to cover Trump, too. I just wanted to talk about, like, tonight we're talking about ideology and fucking philosophy, okay? Because we're winning, guys, okay? And now, again, I'm going to vote blue no matter who in the general election, okay? But, like, the war with the establishment Democrats and the people saying they want affordable health care and to lower prices, fuck that shit. We're getting rid of those motherfuckers one by one, dude. We are like DSA or DSA adjacent at this time. Oh shit, dude. I actually don't have time to watch the Michael Knowles debate, but we'll start with that tomorrow. Okay? We'll start with that tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have a fucking shitting on all the idiot fucking personalities. Because I do want to watch Michael Knowles. Candace Owens, too, was going to town on Erica Kirk. We have some good Candace Owens shit. And so save that one in the tank. But guys, the war is on. Policy. No policy, no votey. Okay? That's it. Dude, no policy, no votey for these dumb motherfuckers. Let's go. Let's go. It's like 2 30-second clips. I know it is, Natalie, but I would want to talk about it because simply watching 2 30-second clips, I wouldn't be able to put in a video. I would need reaction time. And Jenny and I carved a little special time together because she's going away again in like a week. So I have to do a hard out tonight. All right. Even though I don't want to, I would love to stay and stream forever and just fucking watch all this shit. But I don't, my editor is overworked. That's me. My editor and my strategizer and my fucking business manager are all me at the moment. Yeah. Trying to see my girlfriend before she goes away. All right, you ready? Let's go. But we'll start with Michael Knowles tomorrow. Dude, fuck that guy. He's such a weirdo, dude. Dude, what an ultimate bootlicking freak Michael Knowles is, dude. I'm serious. Remember those videos where he's just like licking Trump's asshole? Like, what a fucking dude. By the way, guys, just so you know, I want to show you something. I have a Facebook. I'm going to be starting to do Facebook Reels. Right? I started a Facebook. Hold on. Let me get this. Dude, 9 followers, baby. Oh, shit. A political punk Facebook. There it is. If you guys do that boomer shit, all right? If you guys do that boomer shit, you can find me on Facebook. We're going to be doing Reels. Why? There's millions of people that use Facebook. You know what I'm saying? There's millions of people that use it. So we're going to expand our reach. Expand, baby. Expand. Dude, I feel bad for the people who use it, but I'm getting on there. I'm expanding. We're going to all markers, all markets. All right, you ready? Let's go. Let's go, baby. You're banned for life from Facebook. Good job, Austin. It's probably a good thing. All right, here we go. Time for a little deja vu. Let's get it. Come on, baby. Come on. I saw that dono. Watch bar, baby. Let's go, boss. All right, guys. Dude, so out of breath. All right, I'm going to keep it short. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Dude, big day. This is a big fucking day in politics, guys. Get excited because we're going to do some damage, motherfuckers. We're going to change this world. Fuck Trump and these fucking illegitimate, corrupt motherfuckers, all right? We're going to take the power back, baby. All right, in the meantime, you guys be good to each other, take care of your head, and stay radiant. Good night.
Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better.